Welcome back, everybody. We have some Sunday afternoon League of Legends. Interesting time, interesting day to play League, but I think we're all glad to be here.
I'm glad to be here.
I know I am.
I love League of Legends.
Love it.
My favorite game all time. You're getting into it.
A little bit.
A little bit. Just dabbling.
Dabbling.
Cam, we've got something very exciting happening today.
Oh, shoot.
One, not only is this just a rematch of our play-ins to figure out what division we are, we did drop this game. Very close game, very good, but a little revenge game, some might say, for SNU. With that, 2 new roster changes. Brantley, who has been support for most of the season, will be headed to the mid lane. And in the spot of support, we're bringing in your very own Rocket League player himself, Zane Briss. Just hit Silver 1. He's on the climb. It's crazy. No, but so 2 big changes coming into the game today. And so MSU has not faced this lineup yet, but we are jumping straight into pick bans. MSU is banning out Amumu and Garen, so we see a jungle ban coming out. I don't know how much Gage plays Amumu, but
He's been playing in a good amount.
Okay. I not to spoil this, I do expect a Viego pick coming out from Gage today if it's not banned, but Garen is just a very common ban you're going to see just across the board every single week. That's Derek's favorite person ever. I'm sure he's very excited for the TV show. Over on the SNU side, Jinx, the #1 ADC right now, is going to be banned out, thankfully. I do hate playing Jinx currently. She is very good. And then Ari, another very popular mid lane champion right now, is going to get the 2nd ban from SNU, and the 3rd ban, Skarner. Now, if you remember from the first time we played this team, their Skarner just absolutely wreaked havoc on us, and they are not doing that again. They did learn their lesson, and they just don't even want to play it.
Smart.
And then MSU gonna ban Nautilus. I think it's very hard for a team to come in and you see Zane's recently played probably 5 games, because that's all it takes to rank up. Zane has been playing a lot of Rocket League. So he doesn't have a lot of stats to go off of. So they're just kind of blind banning. So really that Nautilus ban is probably just them asking their bot lane what they don't want to play against. But gonna first pick Corki. That will be either flex mid pick or an ADC. I'm going to assume it's going to go mid. And SNU going to follow it up with Caden.
Mellow.
Yeah, Caden's character. I mean, Caden has hundreds of hours on Misfortune, and which is kind of funny. Misfortune is a very off-meta pick, usually, right. Yeah. She's not top 3 ADC, especially with an Ashe buff coming in. Hey, look at there. There's Viego.
I hate that guy.
Yep. So did Gage, and so Gage decided, I hate Viego. I'm going to learn how to play Viego.
He does.
He does have cool swords. Yeah.
That I can't stand.
Yeah.
Gosh.
It is insane. But Viego gonna come out for Gage. Pairs very well with an MF. Just a lot of burst damage. So maybe when you're thinking about what is Brantley going to play, I could see more of a controller mage coming in from Brantley, looking at maybe an Orianna, or maybe coming out with an AD mid lane, and that would be very interesting. Maybe not as much with a Viego, but Brantley does love himself an AD mid lane. A Jace just got buffed, so yes, you're already getting a shout out. We're like 5 minutes in. Look at you. You're kind of famous.
A little bit.
Oh, okay. Wukong being picked up by MSU. MSU also playing that when we played them last time. And that dealt a lot of, as Freak would say, for my old school League of Legends fans, tons of damage. And that was Wukong. You don't know who Freak is, and you don't know what tons of damage is, do you, Cam?
50,000.
Yes, a lot of damage. 50,000. 50,000 damage coming from Wukong. This game. That would be really bad. We don't want that. We don't want that. But a Recon support pick coming out from MSU to finish out potentially a bottom lane of Corki Recon. Again, I think that Corki may be flexed mid, just really depending on what Brantley picks. A good flex pick in a Corki, especially when you don't know what you're going to go up against mid. I love a ranged mid like that. It just is a safe option. So classic Derek doesn't make you guess what he's going to play. He plays about 3 champions. Mordekaiser, one of those.
They can't ban all of them.
They sure can't. No, they really could. There's no team has chose to. And that would be a really interesting day if a team chooses. But SNU going to ban Victor. They hate Victor. Victor has probably been in every game they have played this whole season. And so they're not doing that.
Not doing it.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up the stats from our first game against MSU. It might not happen. Me pulling these stats up might not happen. But if it does, I'll let you know. And then SNU banning Malphite, MSU banning Poppy, which is hilarious because Zane just finished his replacement matches about 40 minutes ago, and he played Poppy.
Wow.
So we're not shocked. Yeah, all they did was click recently played and saw Poppy, and they did not want that. Poppy, a very good support right now, so probably a good ban anyway, but funny that they chose to do that. I got it. We're in. So
break it down for me.
Yes, if you think back to like a month ago, we played MSU Maroon in our first game of the season, 4 placements. MSU Maroon kind of handled us pretty well, but
is it 0-2 that thing?
No, I do think we took the second game off of them. I'm really trying to find it. The stats not willing to cooperate with me, unfortunately. Resources, details. Yeah, it's not gonna happen. Oh no.
What's wrong?
The Orianna pick that I predicted for SNU actually got taken by MSU. So MSU going to go with the Orianna pick. That taking away from Brantley will be interesting. And then we're going to see a Maokai support coming out from SNU. Maokai, probably a top 5 support right now. Cho'Gath, another Brantley pick for mid. So MSU kind of dabbling.
Their Cho'Gath was annoying last
Their Cho'Gath was very annoying last time. This is kind of a very reminiscent picture of the first time we played them. Corki is going to go into that bottom lane slot as the ADC. So it'll be interesting to see if Corki goes AP or AD. But Cho'Gath is going to lock in as the jungle for MSU. And then Brantley going to pick a champion we've seen quite a bit from Thomas, who is not here tonight, Vigar. So what have you learned watching me commentate these things about Vigar? What do I always say about him?
He scales.
He scales good. Now, MSU does also scale. Corki is a very good scaling ADC. Cho'Gath, a very, very good scaling jungler. So it might be...
That's crazy.
What?
Cho'Gath in the jungle.
Yeah, Cho'Gath in the jungle has a lot of potential gank threat coming out with this knockup and an immediate silence. But if you look at SNU's team comp, especially when you're looking at a bottom lane, you have a Maokai. Misfortune kind of has some escape, but Maokai really able to provide the utility that they're going to need coming out of that, especially looking at a Cho'Gath gank. Mid lane, you have the cage. The cage is the craziest thing to stop any momentum for any team by Vigar. And then top lane just does top lane things. Now, to be fair, we could see a flex Wukong into jungle and Cho'Gath top lane, just really depending. I'm assuming it's going to be Wukong top. That is kind of what they ran last time. But we are going to see MSU coming out of their last series with Moors in the top lane, NFG Coyote in the jungle, Prof Malice in the mid, Zero as their ADC, and Pitt, who played Rakan in his last game, as their support. So we look at the schedule today. SNU League playing at 3 o'clock right now against Mississippi State, and at 7 o'clock tonight, tune in for SNU Halo playing Ohio Northern Esports, ONU. Now, fun fact about ONU, they do have a hockey team, actually.
Wow.
Crazy. Storm forecast for the upcoming matches is on your screen. Shout out Josh for making that graphic. W Streamers. Now, you know what this segment is?
The worst segment ever.
Yes, but we can use this segment to shout out SNU sponsors.
Ooh, I love it.
SNU Esports has a couple sponsors through this season and looking to get more. So if you're interested in sponsoring us, please reach out. But some of our big sponsors this year for the 24-25 esports season, we have the 34 Project right across the street, actually. Buy blue light glasses. Fun fact about buy blue light glasses.
Love them.
I have mine right here. Let me just go ahead and put them on for everyone while I'm reading the rest of our sponsors. Computer Connections down the road. If you have any computer needs, if you're looking to build a computer, if you're looking for parts for a computer, if you're just looking for computer knowledge, go to the guys that know. Computer Connections. ESK, big sponsor this year, new sponsor for SNU Esports this year. ESK is the company that made our jerseys. They are located out of Europe. They do a lot of professional jerseys. Look, I got my blue light glasses on now. They do a lot of professional jerseys, but they made SNU Esports jerseys. So we also have a shop on their website if you're looking to buy any of our products. But Colacus Mexican, we just actually did a post about them on our SNU Instagram. So if you're not following that, you're dumb. What are you doing?
Real.
Go follow it. That's how we communicate with like everything. So big shout out to Gemma for doing that as well. Our next sponsor, Okupa. Now let me tell you, we were in like 1 degree weather like a week ago.
Yeah.
You better believe I broke out my Okupa hand warmers as I'm sitting in my room freezing. Those things are beautiful.
They're a lifesaver during the football early morning runs.
Oh, I can't imagine. And guess what? Let me just tell you this. I don't think our SNU esports team knows this, but the SNU women's soccer coach, Josh Smith, he's not watching, I can guarantee that. But he did come up to me the other day and he said, so why haven't I received an SNU esports hand warmer? I've heard they're the best.
They are.
I said, they in fact are the best. You have to support us.
They
and
do.
so I gave him an SNU esports Akupa hand warmer and he fell in love. Just a lovely thing. Oklahoma Fidelity Bank, right across the street from SNU. Big sponsor this year for us. One, our neighborhood empowered. If you want to know more information about that, check out Drew Middendorf.
Check him out.
Check him out. Yeah. He's very knowledgeable about it, but I can tell you it is an after-school program, and we love that they are willing to sponsor us. Papa Angelo's. I love Papa Angelo's. Best pizza.
Me too. When I came on my visit, first place I went to.
Wait, really?
Yes.
That's kind of awesome.
It was.
Wow. Re-Roof America. We're headed into tornado season in Oklahoma. It's the worst.
It
It
is.
really is. If you
Scary.
saw the movie Twister, all of those people needed Re-Roof America to come fix their roofs.
They did.
And guess what they didn't have? Re-Roof America in the movie. So if you need any help with your home roofing needs, Re-Roof America has been a huge sponsor for SNU Esports. And our final two sponsors of the year, Serve Coffee and Community. If you're ever wondering where Austin Schoenfeld is in the middle of a day, not at work. No.
Of course not.
No. He's across the street at Serve. Drinking
Where everybody
iced
else should
prairie
be.
dog.
Oh,
Do you know what you get?
I don't.
You're like
I'm not a big coffee guy.
You're like a honey badger kind of guy, like cayenne pepper in your coffee. I'm sure you like the spice of it.
Yeah.
No, but those iced prairie dogs, they go crazy. And they are the main reason I am kicking some days. And our last sponsor, Video Game Plus. If you're looking to buy, sell, or trade any of your video games, they are the place to go if you're in Bethany, Oklahoma. We absolutely appreciate all of our sponsors this year. And again, if you're looking to sponsor us for the upcoming season of the 25-26 SNU Esports season, please reach out to us. We would love to have you guys.
I
Cam.
love it. Now I'm looking at the timer, which hasn't even started, by the way.
Correct, yeah.
But trying to look at the other team's ranks. Now, I forget, is Emerald higher than Plat?
Emerald is higher than Platinum,
Oh,
yes.
wow, that's scary.
Yes, this is a
That's
very good
scary.
team. So across the board, we have Muffin. He is Emerald 3. Muffin is going to be their support. Man, I just listed off 5 names earlier, and none of those 5 names are on this screen. So we're going to have to rerun this. Muffin, their support coming in at Emerald 3. And following it up with the ADC Moose. Muse? I'm going to say Muse. He is also Emerald 4.
Now, it goes down, right?
It does go down. Now, it does say on our screen that Muse is not their ADC, but from the stats that I have, he is. So maybe he just flexed. Yes, he is. He is locked in Corky, so he will be their ADC. That's really good. He doesn't main ADC for us. As you see in my little notes, it does say Muse bad with Jinx. They did ban Jinx, so maybe just actually we banned Jinx. So maybe we need to read these notes that I have.
Maybe. And it also says on Porofessor.
Oh yeah,
He is bad with Jinx.
Well, don't worry. Their jungler and MSU Flex is great with Jinx.
Oh, okay.
But he's going to be in the jungle, and he is Emerald 3. Rounding us out, Spicy Lemon, top lane, Cho'Gath. It was a Flex Cho'Gath. He'll be in the top lane in Plat 2. And last but not least, Schmeckles. Plat 4. Uh-oh, something's happening. Man, this is the 3-minute delay. Dude, this sucks. Something's happening. It's going crazy. In 3 minutes, we'll figure it out. They just yelled triple kill.
Great
Spoiler alert.
Great start.
So we're going to assume that there is going to be an invade going on in the first couple minutes of the game.
They could.
Yeah, they could have just totally lied to us.
But there's probably 5 of the most honest people sitting over there.
True.
So
Now, I'm going to expose myself a little bit.
okay, let's hear it.
These guys, obviously, Division 2. Mississippi State's Division 1. But I'm going to say Division 2 esports players. They're playing collegiately, probably getting scholarship to play collegiately. They only have 80. Their max was 89 games this season. Ask me how many I got. Full-time job over here.
Full-time job, 200.
Just about. Yep.
Wow.
I almost have double the amount of games they've played, and I'm a lower ranked than them. That tells you how bad I am. I hate solo queue.
It's dedication right there.
I will say this, though. I'm better than Zane. Zane's silver 1. So that's a good flex for me. Now we have to sit and wait to load into the game, but the 3-minute delay is now over,
Yes.
and we're getting in. So
Thank goodness.
there was a lot of commotion going on. We heard someone yell triple kill. That would have been crazy if we got to see that live, but we're not going to. Instead, we're going to watch. I'm going to assume we're going to look at a bottom lane invade coming out from SNU, especially just trying to get I hope a Vigar gets ahead really early. One of my favorite Vigar skins, shout out Brantley, Astronaut Vigar. But if a Vigar gets out really early, you're able to punish a control mid like an Orianna. Your goal as Orianna is just to kind of just do nothing until a team fight. You are basically another support, but in the mid lane. And so if a Vigar, a hyper carry like a Vigar, gets some early kills going, or an MF, get some early kills going, that could change the tide of mid lane. And we have a pause. No. Oh. No. We got baited. They yelled triple kill. And instead, it was a pause.
Wow.
That's kind of fake of them.
That is.
Wow. Okay, well, the game's been paused. I'm going to assume some tech difficulty. I'm looking at it over at our guys, and it looks like they're playing. So I don't know. Ooh, the timers are back. Josh, I don't know how you do those timer things. Oh, okay. Well, very helpful. Very helpful. Okay. Oh. If you look at the chat, they did play rock, paper, scissors during this timeout, which is kind of hilarious. And it looks like we lost. No, it looks like MSU lost. Yeah. Gage throwing out paper, MSU throwing out rock. Classic. Rock beats paper.
No.
Wait, what?
Paper beats rock.
Thank you.
It's okay.
Sometimes get carried away. When was the last time you played rock, paper, scissors?
I don't know.
We could play now.
Probably to settle an argument.
You want to play now?
Yeah, I'll play right now.
All
Best
right.
2 out of 3 or just one?
Yeah, 2 out of 3.
Hey, rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Oh, L for Cam over here. I throw rock. He throws scissors. Here we go again.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Yes.
Oh, I lost. Cam throws paper. I throw rock.
Paper, scissors, shoot.
And I win. Classic. You just keep throwing rock and you just win, man.
That was mind games.
All right, here we go. Finally getting into the game. It does not look like we're going to have an invade. We did get baited by our own team yelling triple kill.
Dang it, Gage.
They lied. All members of SMU and in Mississippi State going to protect their jungles and protect all the entries into their jungle, and we're just going to have a dance off in mid lane. Oh, it looks like we froze. Uh-oh. Maybe we called a timeout.
Oh, we're back?
We're back. Cam, do you know any of the... Uh-oh, here we go. Gage going to accidentally walk into their Wukong. Wukong, honestly, Gage getting a deep ward, which is really good. And able to see that Wukong started his Q. So Wukong's going to have an empowered auto attack, but it won't matter because he will hit level 2 or 3 before he walks into a lane. And Wukong going to go to the bottom side. Gage is... Actually, this is really good for SNU. Gage knows this. Got the ward deep into the blue buff, and so knows that Wukong is not starting there. So you're going to look for either a level 2 gank immediately coming out of for Wukong, or you're going to see Wukong head to the top side at level 3 and try to get his Cho'Gath ahead. Mid lane for the first couple levels will just be a absolute farm fest.
It was fast.
Yeah, unfortunate, but how much do you know about Corki?
Nothing.
Okay, Corki, very AP heavy ADC.
What does AP mean?
AP is ability power, which doesn't really make sense. When you think of AD carry, you think they're going to build AD attack damage.
Yeah.
Corki is a flex, so he's going to build a little bit of both. But Corki has some pretty cool abilities. He'll throw out his Q, which is like a bubble, and if it lands, it explodes. Rakan going to jump in. That was Rakan. His W is his little Gatling gun. It just consistently fires. It consistently does damage to you. His E, he flies into the air and dashes basically like 5 feet away. And then his R, he starts building up missiles, and he can just basically shoot as many missiles as he wants throughout the game. So. All right, so let's talk about this game state here. Really just kind of even across the board. You see Derek putting a lot of a harassment onto a Cho'Gath, going to shove the lane into his tower.
Early.
He does. That's the Derek. That's the Derek way. And then we're going to see the kind of the opposite from MSU. MSU going to get ahead a little early, and there's the level 3 gank. Immediate flash by Derek, but Wukong going to be able to close the gap, and Derek is out of there. But a flash coming out from our top lane. So that's one of those things, and I've talked a lot about it almost every week. You know, based off of the ward that Gage got early. Now, that was a very early gank from Wukong. He skipped his blue buff to get it. Rakan going to go in. Let's see if we get anything here. Corki going to be able to W in and gonna do a lot of damage down on Kaden, and that's the power of Corki early. He's just going to able to just explode the other team, and both SNU members are going to sit pretty low here and just have to farm up. But you see Wukong didn't start topside, so you got to know he's going to be pushing you in. So it's just kind of hard when Derek was able to shove the wave like that. He just basically got reset there.
Now they're going to probably have to channel out, you think? Or will they just stay being chunked as they are?
Bot lane's really hard. So bot lane, especially getting low that early, Derek has the ability to just heal up, so you're not going to see him get out of there.
Yeah.
Bot lane has the unfortunate ability, though, if you lose a wave in bot lane, you're pretty far behind. That's a good dodge by Zane, though, and they're going to have to, MSU going to have to get out of there pretty quickly. If MSU lands that stun, that's a completely different fight. Yeah, listen, Silver one, listen, doesn't matter to him. He still has the happy feet and is able to get out of there. We see some action going down on mid lane with the junglers, but Wukong gonna back and probably look towards heading towards bottom, but maybe not his best move unless he's looking at a dragon, because SNU probably gonna take this wave and back, just knowing the health that they're at. You're gonna see a lot of passivity coming out from SNU bottom lane here, knowing that they're gonna get chunked out pretty early.
Derek
and then
is just doing Derek things.
Yeah, Derek, a very aggressive top laner, but when you're ahead in minions, you have the ability to be able to do that. You don't have to worry about getting every minion. Now, sometimes minions are worth more than kills, and that's what separates the silver and gold players, me, from the emerald and diamond players.
Of course.
You have to be able
How
to...
many minions is it for one kill? Like 15 or something?
14 gold for a cannon minion, and 18 gold for a melee minion. Could be wrong on the melee minions, but and like 32 gold for a cannon. So pretty important to get the cannon minions out early, and then MSU gonna just take the advantage, push the wave and back. But SNU gonna try to be able to reset this lane, which is huge if they get this, and they do, and they will be able to back as well. That wave may push into MSU's turret, and it looks like it's going to. So Corky gonna come back and lose out on a couple minions. That was a good shove there and a quick shove by SNU. And now we look at the Void Grubs. MSU, all three members making their way towards the Void Grubs as soon as it spawns. Gonna get this pretty early. They've taken the first one. But in classic Gage fashion, his eyes are on some other prize, and that's the dragon. Gage immediately starting the Cloud Drake, and so gonna trade objectives 1-to-1. Again, SNU's mentality loves the dragon, so if Gage is able to get this, then that is a good trade. As long as he gets one Void Grub when the next Void Grub spawn, then we are good to go. And now you're gonna look at mid lane. There's probably gonna be a lot more physicality coming from both of them. Now that they're both level 6, they have the ability to just put the pressure on each other. Orianna has the ability to wave clear instantly, most likely the cannon not the cannon minions, but the caster minions. And Vigar's just going to be farming his Q. So look towards mid here in a little bit to see them in action as well. Derek just non-stop bullying Cho'Gath. Derek going to ult Cho'Gath. Not his best ult. Cho'Gath's able to just sit under tower here and get out of it. But
that is important.
Here we go. Viego coming in for a gank. Orianna throwing up her Q, getting Vigar in the stun, and a huge ult by Orianna, getting both members in.
Nice
and
kill.
Gage misses, but able to clean up and get the kill.
Now, who would you rather have that kill there? Vigar or Brantley?
Me, I would much rather have a Vigar getting that kill, because now as soon as Vigar starts getting more and more fed, he's able to just one-shot an Orianna. And Orianna doesn't have a lot of escape, especially when it comes to a Vigar cage. So if she ever gets caught in a stun, that's
probably done.
Yeah, that's a huge burst coming out of Vigar. Vigar's ult scales off of AP as well. So you're going to see that. Kaden kind of just ulting the wave to just try to clear the wave before it gets shoved into tower. And you're going to look, and SNU going to try to put some pressure on, but MSU's jungler here. SNU doesn't know that. And here comes MSU. Huge jump on Kaden. There's a Wukong all knocking Kaden up. Kaden's going to sacrifice himself so Zane can get out, but SNU getting a little bit more aggressive than they probably should have. Rakan turning around and knocking up Kaden, and there was Wukong in the jungle waiting. And so MSU gonna look towards SNU's bottom side jungle to see what they can take from him, and that's the way you need to play this game. It is not just about kills, it's more about advantages and what you can take when you get those kills. So MSU getting a kill immediately, and here comes a big cage by Vigar. There's a little bit of verse, but here comes Viego, and if Viego is able to land a knockup, which wasn't able to get there, but here's the problem. MSU got that first kill bottom. They immediately look at Gage's jungle, and MSU is taking Gage's blue buff, and Brantley's going to maybe accidentally roam in here. Gage is going to be able to walk in. Wukong does not have smite, neither does Gage, so we're going to see a big fight here. Who's going to be able to get this blue buff? And it looks like MSU got the blue buff. But huge collapse by SNU. That was a good job. And the blue buff transfer is complete, going back over to Gage. And Gage now double buffed and a kill up. That was a good rotation there by the entire team of SNU, not knowing that they were in their jungle, but able to see as soon as Gage saw them. Yeah, they did feel it. It is pretty obvious, too, when the Rakan just disappears for like 3 minutes. He's out there doing something. So good collapse there by SNU, and now you are looking to reset all the waves. SNU up 1.2k gold, so it's a great start, probably a perfect start coming out from SNU, besides the Void Grubs, but all we need is one. Sorry, I needed a drink. Nom, nom, nom. Vigar going to reset for SNU, and hopefully we can see his first buy. He might have full item here. Josh, were we able to pull up his items? Hey, the man, the myth, the legend is here. Thomas coming out from the musical. Vigar up 2 kills, so that's he comes back with a full item on top of Orianna. So you're going to look for see him do absolute big burst coming out from him. Gage is kind of messing around with Wukong in his jungle. He didn't like that Wukong tried to take his blue buff earlier. And here's what I'm talking about. All SNU needs to do here is get 1 Void Grub and get out. But it looks like Gage is going to get caught. Not going to be able to get the 1 Void Grub. And Derek going to kind of throw his life out there as well. And here comes Brantley. Hopefully Brantley also doesn't get caught. Brantley going to move back, and Derek going to flash out. So SNU not able to take 1 Void Grub, unfortunately.
What does that mean?
Take 1 Void Grub?
Yes.
So there's 3 that spawn.
Of course.
And if you get all 6, you get a kind of like a power buff. And you get the 1 objective towards your empowered boots.
Yep.
But the reason I said SNU just needs 1 of those 3 or 1 of those 6 is because if you don't get all 6, then you cannot get the buff. And so, unfortunately, we weren't able to get 1, and so it was a good, clean trade coming out from MSU, also able to get a kill pretty early. And there's Corky's ult. So Corky, if you look under his name, he has those little dashes. That is how many rockets he has built up for his ultimate. So he can press R basically that many times. You might see one that's red. It is an empowered ultimate, and it does a lot of damage AP-wise. Here comes a big ult there by Maokai. Good ult by Zane, getting all 3 of them, and wow, Rakan able to just dash out. MSU looking to try to change the tides of this fight. Wukong able to go invis and is going to get on top of big knockback there by Zane, getting all 3 of his members out, and Derek also going to get run down here by Cho'Gath, going to get knocked up. Cho'Gath going to just run at him. Here comes Cho'Gath, does not have his ult, so he can't eat him, but a huge slow, and there it is. Derek going to take his first death top lane. It was unfortunate. Cho'Gath was very low on mana, but had just enough to get out. MSU able to do the damage there. Bot lane knows that they're pretty low, so they're going to turn the tides on the dragon, but Zane going to run in and immediately burst down their ADC. Can SNU get out of this fight without dying? Knocked back there by Zane, but Caden's caught out of position. Not able to get it, but Gage coming in from the back line gets 1. He's going to look to try to get 2 here, but doesn't able to get the reset. And their MSU is going to take 2 kills and look to try to get the dragon as well, only losing their ADC. Zane starting that fight off really well, getting a knock up and getting a knockdown on Corky to get the pick. And Gage playing that very well, coming in from the back, but not able to get the reset to stay alive, and unfortunately falling, and SNU losing the dragon and 3 Void Grubs. That is 2 full objectives going over towards MSU's side. And so now they look for their final objective for the empowered boots. I don't know who got the first 3 kills of the game. I don't think it was SMU. I think it was
MSU.
I think it's going to go over to MSU. So MSU 1 away from empowered boots. Again, not as big of a deal as it was the start of this season, but still a lot of damage. We see a Rylai's Crystal Scepter coming out from Derek top lane. I love that item, especially into a Cho'Gath. Cho'Gath not able to escape as quickly, especially with that Rylai's slowing him every time Derek hits him with an ability. If Zane gets a catch here on Rakan, there's no one here really to help him, and they might be able to burst him down quick enough, but they're looking to just clear the wards. Probably a good move here by SNU's bottom lane, but now they're just toying around. We have a huge gank top lane. Cho'Gath hitting a double knock-up, though. Here comes Wukong. Wukong looking to hit his ultimate and knock him up again. Gage's going to have to flash out. Derek ulting the Cho'Gath, but it's going to come out of his ult and into 3 MSU players. Derek is going to have to try to escape. Gage goes back in. It's going to get knocked up by Orianna. Orianna just running Gage down. Gage is hitting his invisibility, and here comes Brantley. Brantley with the TP. All 3 members of MSU turning all their eyes on Brantley. Brantley able to ult Cho'Gath, get him bursted down, but going to die in the process. And Gage sneaking into a back bush and backing without getting caught was big, because that would have been 3 kills going over to MSU. And now they're first turret going over to MSU as well. So the empowered boots go their way. And now SNU looking to figure out how to climb back out of this little bit of a hole that they have dug. I will say the good thing about this, though, is Vigar is 3-1. And that is scary. Honestly, I would love to see a ring. Sorry, I was seeing if Zane was going to go in there. I would love to see a ring coming out from Brantley, especially being 3-1-1. Every time he gets a kill, just getting more AAP, just able to stack with his passive, especially if he's going to look to try to just walk in and burst somebody down. Then we can see that. But he's not going for that right now. Looks like he might be building into... I don't know what he's building into with the tier. But going a lot of mana heavy items here is Brantley. And then on the other side, Luden's Echo coming out from Orianna. Very interesting build coming from Caden and MF. Not going to immediately go big damage, but instead going to look for his second item to be the lethality item. And here comes an ult here from Zane. Seeing that Corki's alone, Zane's going to go in, but Gage is tanking the tower. Maybe not the play from Gage, but Zane's going to switch the tower aggro and is going to get out. And that was a good switch off from the tower aggro and a good pick by Zane coming from that tri-bush, starting with his ultimate. And hopefully going to be able to get a lot of tower damage on. But SNU going to reset here. Caden should be able to buy, or close to buy, his boots. And big ult by Orianna, but is trapped in Vigar's cage, so not really able to do anything there with that. And that is the threat of Orianna right there. Especially once we get into team fights. Wukong able to jump in, but they're going to catch Gage in the top jungle. Gage not knowing that all the members are in the top jungle, and Gage is going to get bullied down. But here comes SNU's bottom lane. This is actually a pretty decent fight for SNU if they wanted to take it, but they're going to back off actually and try to clear the mid wave that has stacked up. And so, yeah, if you're looking here at what kind of the future of this game looks like for SNU, you see a 5-1 Wukong. That is a very beefy, scary Wukong. Triforce and Black Cleaver already built. And then you look over on Gage's side, he just has a Triforce. So Wukong almost a full item ahead of Gage, and that item being Black Cleaver is very, very scary, especially with knowing how much tank damage SNU has. Wukong's going to just be able to just shred that out. And just MSU with the power of their wards. If you look around the map, you see top side has a deep ward from them. Bottom side has a pretty decent ward from them. And so they have the vision. And Brantley's going to do, and Zane are going to do a good job of walking around and clearing these out. But here comes Wukong, going to knock up Brantley. Just kidding. I'm so used to Brantley playing support. Going to knock up Zane. But now SNU has the vision of MSU on Dragon, and they're going to look to collapse. This will be our next big team fight. It might be a 4v4. Huge play there by MSU to drop Rift Herald mid. So SNU now is forced to choose. Do they want to keep their mid towers, or are they going to go look for their second Dragon? MSU is going to split here, and SNU is going to have to commit to at least one of these because they are losing so much on their objectives right now, especially with the Derek TP. So SNU going to look to commit to Dragon. Now they're going to look to the fight. Rakan going to jump in, immediately get stunned up. Big ultimate there by Caden. Gage getting the Dragon, and all three members are going to get knocked up by Wukong, but Wukong going to get immediately shut down. Here comes Rakan. Rakan stuck in the middle of all four members of SNU. SNU now looking to chase down Corki, but is low, and so now they have to figure out, do they want to reset? But now they have Cho'Gath, who TP'd a little bit later than he probably should have, in the bottom side of SNU's team. And so now SNU looking towards resetting this. But again,
pretty good.
It was good. SNU had to make the choice of what do they think will better their future. Are they going to lose tier 2 mid or tier 1 mid, or are they going to choose Dragon? And they chose to get the second Dragon. It was a good smite battle there by Gage, and a great ultimate by Caden hitting all members of MSU.
Was that the better decision, you think?
Yes, it was. I think it was a really good decision. I think we would have been punished more, unfortunately, and fortunately for SNU, if Cho'Gath decided to stay top. If Cho'Gath did not TP into that fight late and decided to just do damage to the top tower, maybe we're looking at a different story there, because that is 2 towers then that SNU would probably have to look at. trying to recuperate the gold from. But SNU getting the third dragon is massive, and here comes a fight. Rakan just going to accidentally walk into a wild Viego, and Viego is going to absolutely try to burst down Rakan, and they're going to be able to get the kill. Cho'Gath now roaming up, doesn't get the knock up on Derek, and SNU able to just walk out of this fight unscathed.
Decent little kill there.
That was a good pick, and Gage is going to go right back in on Corki. Corki does have his dash away, but it doesn't matter. Zane is here now too. Zane does have his ultimate if he needs it to get SNU out of this fight, as we see a TP coming in from a non-full health Orianna. But this is exactly what you want to see. Maybe not if we die here. And we did. Orianna going to be able to ult both of SNU members in, and MSU going to clean that up. But SNU across the map, you look bottom lane, Brantley is going to be able to get a tower. Kaden almost getting the mid tower. If they were able to get out of that fight and either get one or two of those towers, that is a massive win for SNU. But getting caught there kind of pushes the favor more towards MSU's side, even though SNU got one of those towers.
Why didn't they keep running? Why did they hide in the bush?
That's a great question. And unfortunately, like I talked about earlier, MSU's vision is so good. They're playing the vision game very well. If you just look even at the top side of this map, where Maokai is at, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wards coming out from MSU compared to SNU's 2 wards. And SNU not having the towers, not having the deep towers to be able to get into their jungle like MSU does, is really hurting them. And so that's kind of where the give and take is. As we see, actually, Zane's going to try to fight this. Zane's going to go back in and ult them. Huge Kaden ult again. Gage going to be able to pick up that kill, but Gage is in a very compromising position and is going to get sniped out by Cho'Gath ult. And that is a 1-for-2 trade, unfortunately. Brantley's going to try to throw down some big damage, but Wukong is not the person you want to do that to. MSU now going to turn their eyes towards the big beefy boy. And they're going to be able to get some of the damage down on Otacon. But honestly, not really going to be able to be contested here by SNU. Brantley kind of like maneuvers his way down there, knowing how much damage Otacon does. He might could just one-shot one of these people, but Brantley's going to take it back, and that is a free Otacon, free GA Otacon, unfortunately, going to MSU. Good trade there by Derek, getting in one of the top towers and now kind of opening the map just a little bit more for SNU. But that's what those towers do. So tier 1s aren't going to be your scariest towers to lose, but what happens when you lose a tier 1 is exactly what MSU now has the ability to do. They have this whole topside jungle of SNUs to just walk around in without being seen by the towers, and so it does hurt a lot. Really hurts Gage ultimately, because now every time he's walking into his jungle, he is scared that they could be there. But SNU just gonna kind of farm for the next couple minutes while we wait. We see Dragon's gonna be up in 22 seconds, so that is where your next fight is gonna be. And unfortunately, Gage is topside. This is a very rare time where Gage is not in a position to go get Dragon. He's going to start roaming down there, but if MSU is smart, they can immediately burst this thing down and get Dragon for free here, which would make that third Dragon from SNU not pointless, but just kind of like, why were we going to trade a tower for the third Dragon? And here we go. MSU is going to be able to do that and just burst down the Dragon, but SNU, again, making a very good play, trying to trade objectives, giving MSU Dragon, but looking to take mid tower, and they're able to get it. So now for SNU, they have just opened all of MSU's jungle up as all tier 1 towers are dead. Uh-oh is right. Kaden not able to get out after getting the mid tower, getting caught by a Wukong. Wukong flashing in, ulting him, getting knocked up. So Kaden being down kind of opens the door here for MSU, especially with GAs on them, to just really put a lot of pressure in this mid lane. And they're going to look towards 1 tower. They might look even towards 2, especially with these GAs. But Derek doing a good job to try to wave clear. And SNU should not look to fight this. Maybe wait out the Otacon GAs if you don't want to fight. But if you do, you need to find a pick, and you need to get it quickly. Brantley is now probably getting... Josh, you want to click Vigar's character model? You might click his portrait and then it will tell you. Down one. Yes, so Vigar now has 251 stacks. Yeah, sorry. 251 stacks, so his AP is getting boosted pretty quickly. Brantley is doing a very good job farming that up. So let's take a look down at items and minions. Cho'Gath, Derek, very pretty even on minions. Unfortunately, Cho'Gath does have 4 kills though, so is already starting to build that third item. Has a Heartsteel coming out, so it's just going to be very hard to kill. Whereas if you look at Derek going more of a damage build than a tank build, but still having those tank items. Rylai's obviously helps a lot. Plated steel caps giving him that armor. Then jungle, Wukong. He's been a problem all game. So obviously he has some of his bigger items already built with 6 kills and 30 CS ahead of Gage, who is just starting to build his third item. Mid lane though, however, Vigar looking to build Rabadon's death cap, so that will boost his AP by 10% and give him 80 more. That will be a huge damage spike coming out from Brantley if he finishes that item before our next fight. And then if you look over on Orianna's side, she's still finishing her third item as well. So, Seraph's Embrace was what Brantley was building. And Brantley just finished his death cap. So, expect Vigar to walk into a fight. If he's able to land a cage on an Orianna or on a Corki, he should be able to just absolutely burn them down and one-shot them. And especially if Caden's going out. So we might get to see it here.
He almost had it.
Almost had it. Orianna flashing out of that, knowing that now Vigar has his death cap. That is an instant death if she gets caught in that, which is just scary. Huge damage, though, on Corki right there. And so let's see. MSU wanting to fight this, but Derek coming in from back. This is maybe a good fight from SNU. SNU going to be able to do a lot of damage. Caden not going to get his ult on everyone, but some pretty big chunked damage coming in from SNU. So SNU may be looking towards to see if they could do a Baron here, but they're going to run into a Cho'Gath. Cho'Gath knocking up a Viego and immediately just flashing in and ulting him, getting that one-shot kill. But here comes Vigar for SNU. If SNU can stay in this fight just long enough, Vigar may be able to change this fight completely. Huge cage coming out from Vigar. Here comes his one-shot. He doesn't get to finish the one-shot because he hit Wukong's clone instead. Corki just in the back, just not able to do anything. He just doesn't have the health. Huge there. Huge shot there by Caden. Caden going to get taken down. This is just a battle of trades right now. Vigar just Q farming on MSU. That is his second kill with this Q and MSU. And man, that's what I'm saying. This Vigar will be so scary when it comes to late game. So a 3-for-3 trade coming out for both teams, kind of just straight even across the board. This game almost even in gold, even in dragons, almost even in towers. I mean, this is as close as you can get, and this is exactly what we saw in play-ins too. Both teams just competing, and it leads to a very, very good game. Dragon now up in 30 seconds. Both teams are going to look for their third dragon, and this is now the 5th dragon of the game. So all teams going to head down here. The good thing for SNU, however, is Derek's wave is pushed towards him, so he's going to be able to push that top wave a little bit more and look to TP down bottom. But if you're Brantley here, if you get a cheeky little catch here, you don't need Derek to TP. And here comes maybe a pick here from Gage, but gonna throw down some damage on a Wukong clone and get out of there. Here comes the Derek TP just early enough to know and show the threat that all 5 members of SNU are in here. And here we're gonna look for a fight. Knock up there from Cho'Gath. Now Cho'Gath doesn't have his knock up for the rest of this fight, but look for this Orianna ult coming in. See where her ball is, and there it is. The ult lands on 2 members of SNU. Both those members are going to be so low, and unfortunately one of those members was Gage, so Gage wasn't able to smite that, but they're going to be able to get a pick on Cho'Gath. That was a massive, massive ult from Orianna, ulting Gage before he could smite, so Gage wasn't able to, and Cho'Gath going to run in there and eat the dragon for a lot more damage than a smite does. Huge jump in there by Zane. Zane's going to run in, stun him up, and try to get out. Gage going to do the same, but Gage took a lot of damage. And SNU going to look towards Baron. This is going to be a very risky Baron, but they're going to have to shred this pretty quickly. MSU now realizing seeing with their wards that they're on Baron. SNU not the most healthy people in this game. Caden, you see, is getting chunked down by Baron, but SNU does have a lot of Baron pressure, and they get it. Now the ability is, can they get out? And it looks like we might lose one member. Zane's going to sacrifice himself so the team can get out. And what a man. What a guy.
What a guy.
He said, you know what? I want our team to get out of there. I'm going to lead the MSU team down south while you guys take the trip north.
Now, that's a good sacrifice.
Yeah.
Just a one.
Yeah.
We get Baron.
Exactly.
Now we can press a bit harder. Now, the 4 kills up, from what they tell me,
Sure.
they say I put too big a deal on the kills,
Yes.
not a big enough deal on the gold.
Right.
Now, the gold is even.
It is.
Kills is not.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
That's where
I still don't really understand why, but
So,
I'm going to just take your word for it.
let me just tell you. Honestly, as long as your gold is even, it doesn't matter what else has happened, besides maybe dragons. Because if gold is even across the board, that means both teams have the same amount of items. So the items just popped up again. If you look, like we kind of compared earlier, both laners are probably going to have around the same amount, no matter how many kills they have. So obviously Wukong is going to have a lot more items than Gage, who's further behind. But then you're going to look at our Vigar, who has a lot more items than Orianna. So it kind of just balances out a little bit. So it really depends on where your kills are going. So say maybe MSU had kind of spread out their kills a little bit more, then it would have a little bit more of a difference in how this plays out. But all of them being on Wukong means their Wukong is going to be fed, but really no one else on their team kind of is. I guess Cho'Gath kind of is. But whereas if you look at SNU, you have a Viego, you have a Vigar, you have an MF, who those are your carries. So those are the guys you want the kills on anyway. And that's where that's going to go. So always look at the gold instead of the kills. Kills will usually tell you who's up in gold, but in this case, SNU has gotten a Baron. SNU has gotten some other objectives around the map to help them just kind of alleviate the gold differential. So SNU now going towards bottom, gonna just try to use Baron to get as many towers as they can, and that will help them, especially in the gold department as well. Caden just chunking this tower. As long as they keep this cannon minion alive in the back, they might be able to just sneak this tower away. Vigar and Orianna just battling top lane like they have been just all game. So it's going to be a 4v4 fight down middle lane, and there's an Orianna ult, but it won't matter. Again, Vigar's going to be able to execute Orianna from a pretty healthy state. And so huge tower kill there by Brantley. Brantley going to get out, going to back, try to get some health, and look towards TPing bottom lane. Let's see if he does. He might just run it down, because SNU now is looking to back. SNU not able to get the bottom tower, but Brantley did the job top. And so another tower going SNU's way here, and a tier 2 tower in the top lane falling. We have a minute towards our next dragon.
Dang. And we're up gold.
And we're up gold. Thank you, Brantley, for hitting that tower. Towers give a lot of gold, especially tier 2 and base towers. So
right now, dragon coming up.
Yeah.
Soon. We need to lock in.
Yes, this is probably the most important part of the game. So what SNU needs to do is get control vision-wise of this whole dragon area. They need to clear out all of MSU's wards. They need to ward themselves. Wow, I'm choking. But that's the power of Vigar, what you just saw. He's able to throw a cage in a pivotal spot in the map like that, and MSU just can't do anything. They can't enter, they can't escape. But MSU just really able to just clear all of these wards that SNU just went down and placed. So MSU coming in with just very little vision on Dragon. SNU going to try to clear the waves and get the waves pushing in their favor as Dragon spawning in 10 seconds. But MSU now has taken control of the Dragon Pit. SNU kind of just giving it up a little bit to go farm the waves, and a huge ult there by Caden over the wall. That was an insane pick. Here comes an Orianna ult hitting 2 of them. Derek gonna ult Orianna, gonna get her out of the fight. So watch the fight in the back. We're gonna look at Caden and Vigar. Vigar gonna start getting shot down by Corki. Caden and Vigar gonna try to 1v2 Corki, but Corki in such a good position. Oh, there it is. There's the Vigar ult. So fed, able to one-shot the Corki and able to turn the fight in SNU's favor. That is an ace coming out from SNU. Well, maybe not. I guess Wukong didn't die. But basically, he's in the base.
He's dead.
big fight there for SNU. Able to get the dragon, able to turn their vision towards mid lane, gonna get a mid lane tier 2, and now look at the gold. That is a 4K gold advantage from even after that dragon, and they're gonna look to just keep putting their pressure on. They're gonna get a base tower. They're gonna look to try to also grab an inhibitor tower, inhibitor tower. But got the super minion spawning mid, and man, I wish. Actually, Josh, can we press the replay button? We might miss something. I know, fans. I'm sorry. But I do want to jump back and watch how that fight started just a little bit. Keep pressing it. One more, 2 more times maybe. One more time. One more. All right. One more. Sorry. Okay. Here we go. Watch Kaden in the top side of your map here. Caden's just going to immediately ult over the wall and just pop Rakan.
Derek pulls him in. He can't go anywhere.
Yeah, and Derek's going to turn his eyes towards Orianna, get her out of the fight. So really, this is now a 4v3 fight coming out from SNU. And unfortunately, MSU's carries kind of got onto our backline a little bit here. So they were able to clean up a little bit. But Vigar, so fed, throws out his ult on Corki and just blows him up. And that was a massive start to the fight for SNU. And just a very good pick by Kaden, but just a very good momentum changer for SNU. And now SNU gonna turn their eyes towards Baron. We saw earlier how fast SNU can kill a Baron, especially with MF. And here comes the Vigar. Kaden gonna try to ult Rakan again and getting him out of the fight. But here we go. SNU gets another pick. We're gonna see Wukong just already low, but he's gonna try to jump on Kaden and get Kaden out of the fight. SNU Orianna just throws her ult down, snipes Kaden.
Going crazy.
Derek gonna be in the back line of MSU and just doing so much damage on their ADC. Derek's just running rampant. And so Derek having ulted Corki, he gets Corki's AD and AP, and SNU taking the Baron and backing out. So now, guess what? MSU ahead 1 gold. Doesn't matter. SNU is ahead 6.3K gold.
Gold is insane.
So unfortunately,
It's so deceiving.
it is so deceiving. But here's the good thing: Brantley 5-1 is full build now. So he is now fully stacked. He's gonna still stack his AP, but that's exactly what you want to see from your mid laner. Has all of the items that he needs, and so now he's gonna just buy.
How much AP do you think he has?
I bet you he has 700.
700.
Yeah, Josh, you want to click Vigar for us? Just kidding. I was so off. He has 1,274. That 10% bonus from Rabadon's death cap really coming in clutch there. But yeah, full build coming out from Brantley. So now Brantley's going to be able to look towards buying those AP pots. And here comes another, almost another catch there by the Vigar cage. And so SNU just needs to find, honestly, any fight. A jungle fight would be actually perfect for them as long as they don't get 5-man. Orianna ulted. Kaden got to experience that in the last fight. Orianna just blasting him. But Vigar looking to try to pick somebody off. Orianna ult coming out, getting 2 members of SNU. But SNU able to throw down a cage and just back up and not take any more damage here. Derek's just going to blast him. And a massive ult there again by Kaden, trying to just sneak an Orianna pick. But here comes 3 stuns from that Vigar ult. Wukong's going to try to jump in here. Knocks up 4 members of SNU. SNU turning the fight on Rakan. Rakan just getting blasted again. Kaden dying. SNU jumping on the back line. It looks like Gage is going to jump on Corki. Vigar, just classic 1,300 AP, just snipes Corki out of the sky. And here comes another cage. Getting Cho'Gath. Cho'Gath not going to be able to escape. And SNU may look towards ending this game right here. That was a massive kill by Kaden to start that fight on an Orianna. Even though she got it out, there it is. The Vigar cage able to just smack Orianna. And Orianna is going to try to get to base. Zane says, I may be silver, but I don't care, and is able to stop Orianna from getting back to base. And SNU takes game 1.
Whoa.
That was an incredible game. Very even, honestly, until the last 3 or 4 minutes.
I had no idea who was going to.
I did. I did. I could have told you who was going to win. No, just kidding. But I will say, we said it at the start of that game. If Vigar gets fed, it's over. And that's exactly what happened.
We'll probably see a ban on Vigar next game.
We will try. I guarantee that we probably will as well. Brantley, for the first week playing mid, showing what he's got and able to lead SNU to a victory right there.
Dang.
We're going to take a break. I need to drink water. I'm dying. We'll be back.
Losing track of days I'm waiting. Your seasons never change, and nothing stuck inside your ways. But I can never say goodbye. Love it when I'm beside. I don't wanna see signs, but you're breaking me down. But you're breaking me down. Oh no. What do you wanna do? Yeah. I've been running. I've been running. Oh no, no, no. Oh no, no, no. What do you wanna do? Yeah. I've been running. I've been running. Just let me save you.
And we're back in
We're
Champion
so back.
Select. So back. We're up 1-0.
Yeah, we're kind of getting spoiled here because all of the champions have been selected and banned, but we decided instead of waiting 3 minutes in the middle of us talking,
Yes.
we're just going to do the 3 minutes before.
Genius, really.
Yeah, now we have everything to talk about. So let's take a look. SNU, again, banning the Jinx. She's just insane right now. Probably a very good ban. Ari coming out, ban. If you look across the board, really, you see kind of
stuff.
yeah, and a limited mid lane pool. So Victor, Orianna, Lissandra, Ari, all mid lane champions, all of them getting banned. So let's look towards this comp. MSU gonna lock in a Pantheon top lane, a Varus ADC, surprising Zyra jungle, Nami support, and a Galio mid. And then on the SNU side, Skarner jungle, Kog'Maw could be AP Kog'Maw, could be AD Kog'Maw. Knowing Caden, he's gonna go AP. Looking at our team comp, he's gonna go AD, but AP option is there. Dr. Mundo going top lane. Derek loves Mundo. Milio support and a Syndra mid lane. So Cam, I'm going to throw this to you. Let's do a little quiz here.
Okay.
When you look at MSU's comp, what are the top 2 things that you're seeing from them?
Well, I overheard that they are a little squishy.
Yes. Besides a Galio, that he wasn't picked when you were over there.
Of course. And other than that, I don't really know, because I only know Galio's kit.
Yeah.
I've really never seen. I correct me if I'm wrong. Pantheon, pretty slow early game.
He is.
Scales a bit.
Usually, you would have probably seen him support more than anything. You probably have never seen him top in this. But when you look at MSU's team comp, the one thing that is kind of scary, just looking at it, you have Pantheon has a stun, Varus has a stun, Zyra has a stun, Nami has a knockup, Galio has a taunt. So they have a lot of crowd control coming out from that team. But you're right, they're very squishy. A Zyra Nami combo, very, very squishy. So
because they really just have the Galio on their front line.
yeah, and Pantheon's able to throw one ability and block a ton of damage, but after that, he's going to look to get blown up as well. Then you look over at SNU side, Milio, a very, very good support right now. A very tanky Dr. Mundo in the top lane. A tanky Skarner if he builds tank in the jungle. Again, Kog'Maw just going to be that tank shredder that he is. And a Syndra pick coming out from Brantley. I'm very interested to watch a Syndra Galio lane happen. You're going to look to see Syndra get her stacks pretty quickly so she can turn around. But the Syndra pick is very good against a team comp that is squishy. If Syndra is able to land, or honestly, if any of SNU members is able to land a stun, and Syndra has her orbs out there, 1R, and they're going to get exploded. So I like that pick coming out from Brantley. Derek, always very good on Mundo. I love when Caden plays Kog'Maw. I think it is an incredible pick from him. He's very versatile on it. And Gage going to take Skarner away from MSU instead of banning it this time. So that'll be interesting to watch as we get into this game here in a couple minutes. But I think MSU, I don't think you've ever seen a Varus. Zyra's going to be for sure new. Zyra just coming back into the meta. Zyra, one of my favorite supports, is where she usually is going to be played. But we've seen Zyra once already this season. Zyra has a very just versatile kit. Her ult, throwing down her ult, puts up a huge circle on the map that knocks anybody up with her plants. And that is going to come back, and in a team fight where SNU is very clumped up, might look to bite us in the butt. Nami, a very engaging support. So I think that's what you're going to look for, especially as we get into the mid game here. MSU going to look to take the fights to SNU. They're not going to sit back and wait, because SNU kind of now, we talk a lot about how SNU picks for late game and how some of the champions SNU picks are late game champions, but Kog'Maw is a late game champion. Zapma, shout out Carlos Zapata, Zapata. Gonna get a big shout out for SNU Esports. But here we go as we look to load into this game. Honestly, expect a lot of pressure come from this bot lane, from both bot lanes really. Again, Nami, very aggressive support, has the ability, has a couple knockups, has the attack damage, what is this line on the map? That was annoying me. But just a lot of damage coming out from the MSU bot lane. So I could see SNU trying to put the pressure on MSU and just get them low before they're able to do that. We may actually try to see an invade here. I was talking to the guys pre-game, especially when that Zyra pick was locked in. And I told them, I said, you guys need to look for an invade if you guys can figure out which way Zyra's starting. Because here's the thing. If Zyra starts her E, which is her stun, to prevent the invade or to stop the invade, then she kind of screws herself in her jungle clear, and it will just double the time that it takes her to clear the jungle. But doesn't look like we're going to get one. SNU kind of posted up. Maybe going to push for a late invade, but Zyra warding the entrance there and is going to know if they go for a late invade and is just going to roam down to her blue buff. And here it is, the late invade coming in from SNU. SNU not going to find any MSU members here. Maybe a lone Pantheon top lane, but going to get a deep ward in. So here's the thing. Let's see if you've learned. What have I always said? Oop, just kidding. MSU going to now invade SNU's bottom side jungle. And I don't think SNU has any vision on this at all. So this could be very scary for Gage. If Gage doesn't take MSU's topside jungle, then we may run into an issue. But here it is. Zyra going to start clearing SNU's bottom side, and we may just see some vertical jungling going on. Do you know what that means?
I'm going to assume that they both are invading the opposite sides of the jungle.
Yes.
So they won't cross paths.
No.
And nothing else will really happen.
Correct. Yes. That was really good. Vertical jungling is you taking the other team's opposing buff and you just go straight up to your buff and you're only on one side of the map. So MSU going to stay on the bottom side of the map here and going to have the pressure on the ADC support side, the bot lane, and SNU going to have more of the pressure on the top side of the map right now. But mid lane might just be a little bit slower again until we see level 4s or 5s coming out. I would always say top side slow, but Derek hates playing slow lane. So Derek's going to try to always put aggression down on Pantheon. Pantheon does win that lane early though. And so here we go. This is always the key lane, and SNU going to look for an early engage. Here comes the Skarner. Derek unfortunately missing the briefcase early, so Skarner, yeah, Pantheon's going to be able to do just so much damage coming off, especially after that briefcase miss, and that is not what you want to see if you are SNU. SNU going to gank Pantheon, but again, Pantheon early is just so strong, and so is able to get the double kill.
This is game 2. We are currently up 1-0.
This is the revenge game for SNU. Game 2, up 1-0 is SNU, but down 2-0 in kills this game. Galio going to jump in, get the stun off on Brantley, but Brantley able to get out there, sees Galio doesn't have enough mana to really do anything else. And MSU just on all sides of the map, just putting so much pressure on SNU. And so now, here's the thing. If you're SNU and you get behind decently big early, you have to turtle. You have to start and let your Kog'Maw farm up and get back into this game, because a late game Kog'Maw is going to shred their team comp. And so if you're not able to get just ahead early like you were last game, you have to sit back and you have to play patiently. You can't get caught out, and MSU going to look to see if they can get a tower dive coming in. But Zyra really squishy, but Zyra over the wall gets Zane, and Zane falls early as well. That was a good play there by Zyra, waiting for one of the SNU members to step out of line and catching them as they walked up just a little bit too far. So here we go. SNU down 3-0. Honestly, MSU just having so much pressure in this game already. It's just kind of scary. But the good thing about SNU's team comp is they have the ability to just sit there and tank up and let their carries do the carry job. You're going to see a lot of this from Gage, honestly, and I like that play from Gage. Zyra's not much of a jungle threat. Now, when she ganks, yes, sure, she is able to stun lock you and you're not able to move, but she is a very, very slow jungler. So when you're looking at a Skarner jungle, you're looking at his ability to just walk into the opposing team's jungle, clear it fast and get out of there. Even there, he got stun locked by Zyra, but was able to flash out. Could he have walked out? Yeah, probably, but decided to flash. It's a lot safer option. And now Derek's going to face the effects of a 2-0 Pantheon, who is able to come in with half an item. That's like 60 AD just right off the bat. 60 AD, boots. I mean, Pantheon just scary right now.
Up 10 CS on Derek too. That is rough.
It is, and unfortunately, the scary thing about a Pantheon is as soon as he hits 6, which he is 6 now, he has the pressure across the entire map to change any team fight. Brantley's going to start taking damage, but I don't think the Galio is going to be able to kill him. Zyra's going to flash in, just throw her stuff out, but isn't able to land any of it. Brantley having to flash out and is going to retreat. Pantheon, I'm assuming tower dove Derek a little bit, and is why he's so low.
Yeah.
But Gage is going to sit in bottom lane, wait to see if they engage on Briss. They do engage on Briss. They're not going to fully commit, though, and Gage is going to have to leave. And here we go. The first dragon of the game. Galio, insane, though. Throws his stun, gets stunned, but has to retreat. as Syndra starts to build up all the orbs and was able to start doing a ton of damage and turn that fight around. So now we have a reset in bottom lane from SNU. SNU looking towards Dragon. Gage doesn't have flash, is going to have to get out of the Dragon pit and kind of leashing the Dragon for MSU. MSU is going to pull the Dragon out. Unfortunately, Zyra's plants are kind of funny and they don't allow that. Pantheon ulting top lane. Mundo cannot be stunned, so just bouncing Pantheon off. And now MSU, 3 members on the Dragon. SNU not able to do anything about that. So Gage immediately turns his eyes towards top lane, looking to go get all 3 Void Grubs. Kind of the opposite direction that we saw the first game. And unfortunately, Gage wasn't able to get any of the Void Grubs before MSU now sends 4 members to go get those. And so SNU just... the macro play coming out from MSU has kind of just been spot on. And as soon as SNU gave those 2 kills to Pantheon, had just kind of started falling off a little bit. And as you saw, Derek just kind of died there again. Pantheon getting 3 kills early is scary. So all the lanes going to kind of just reset here. Zyra is going to solo Void Grubs for her team. And Gage not able to do anything about that. And so 2 objectives going MSU's way, along with 4 kills to start this game. MSU up 1.4k gold early. And that doesn't sound like a lot when you look at it in game, but at the start of a game, it is a lot. 1k gold can turn into a full item pretty quickly. And I'm assuming Pantheon's next back, he's getting a full item and is going to run at Derek every time he sees him. Brantley's just going to try to start throwing damage down on Galio as we see Gage walking in mid lane, but Galio going to be able to get out. Gage misses his stun against the wall, and Galio walks out of there for free. And there's Derek just taking a beating again. Unfortunately, he cannot do anything, and that is what is going to have to be for the rest of the top lane. Galio, yep. Pantheon just going to just jump in and just assassinate Derek. Derek's going to have to learn how to farm anywhere else, maybe behind his tower, for the rest of this laning phase, because Pantheon now 4-0 is just so big. And Pantheon may be able to get at least 4 plates here. He's actually going to choose not to get any. He sees Derek's TPing in and is going to back out. Bot lane clearing wards, doing what they do best, but it is a very even lane down bottom, especially after the early gank from Zyra. Galio out of mana, so isn't really able to do anything. Syndra kind of just looking just to farm up. I don't know why he just went in, but sure. Galio dashes in on Syndra and can't finish any damage there. Kog'Maw just trying to do as much damage as he can to Nami, but here comes Gage coming from the bush, gets a huge stun on Nami. Nami able to flash out. Here comes the Zyra ult, but a massive ult there by Gage, grabbing 2 members of MSU. MSU now looking though to turn the fight after his ult coming out from. Oh, wow! So much just happened. Sorry, I just blanked on everything. But MSU, oh, here comes Brantley. Brantley going to be able to maybe get 1 kill. Zane isn't able to finish Zyra off, though. And so all of SNU having to look to retreat here. Instead, Varus is going to try to snipe Kaden, and he does. That is the power of the Varus Q. Is able to do so much damage from so far away. And MSU pulling 3 kills out of a gank from bottom lane hurts. And that increases the gold by 4k early. So MSU now looking to buy the items that they need and look towards this dragon that's going to spawn in a minute 30 seconds. And if you're SNU here, it really just is going to come down to either you turtle early and look to trade some of these objectives out. If you know that they're going to go dragon in a minute 30, then you have to look at Void Grubs in 50 seconds. You just have to be able to just switch. Kind of like your mentality from the first game of just put the pressure on MSU. MSU has pressure on you in every aspect of this game. Bottom lane, top lane, jungle. And so, unfortunately, you're just looking to see what you can do and how you can get back into this game. Your first objective is Kaden. Unfortunately, Kog'Maw is more of a later game champion, so you just need him. Even though he is behind early, you just need him to start getting the CS as much as he can. You need Brantley to get his stack so he can start doing a lot of damage. And you're not going to see a lot of damage come out against Galio. But here comes Zyra into a Brantley. Brantley's going to flash over the wall. Zyra's going to try to throw all of her abilities out. Gage going to get Zyra stunned up against the wall, but Galio ulting, and now 3 members of MSU are looking here to try to change the tides of this fight. And Galio jumping in is going to get the stun on Gage, but his team left him, and so isn't going to get the kill.
Bad comms.
Bad comms. That's what happens. But SNU having to retreat there from what looked like a really good gank. Was a really good rotation there by MSU, not allowing SNU to do anything. And here we go. Poor Derek back under his tower. We watched a tied CS top lane change pretty drastically here in the last minute. MSU immediately turning their eyes towards Dragon, and Pantheon going to put the pressure on Void Grubs as well. Going to go ward it and sees that SNU's not there. And this is what I'm talking about. You know you have to trade objectives to get back into this game. So you're giving up Dragon because you can't win that fight. So Gage is now going to look to try to go get Void Grubs. But Pantheon knows he's there, and a 4-0 Pantheon may be able to just absolutely burn down Gage. And Gage is going to have to get out of there as soon as he sees Pantheon, and is going to give all of the Void Grubs, just 2 Void Grubs, over to MSU. So SNU getting, right, SNU able to get 1 Void Grub, but MSU going to get 5. And so, unfortunately, it's really going to come down to whoever gets this next tower, but for the boots. But it won't matter. MSU just pushing their advantage as much as they can right here. And here's the thing. 4 of the 7 kills are on Pantheon. He has a 300 gold shutdown bonus. So if you are SNU, you've got to look to try to get that gold when Pantheon dies onto Kaden. Especially even the Varus gold, the 200 gold there. If Kaden gets both of those shutdowns, that may change how this is played. Poor Derek. Derek's about to get bullied. 3 MSU members are here trying to tower dive Derek. Derek realizes that and is playing very smart behind his tower. So MSU having to back off. Zane walking mid lane, trying to do some damage onto Galio, but Galio is the tankiest member of the MSU team and just immediately bought MR boots. He said, I'm not dealing with the Syndra damage at all, actually. So my first 2 items are going to be magic resistance. Yeah.
Big magic resistance.
Big magic resistance. Heartsteel coming out from Skarner, so he's going to be pretty tanky starting right now. Blackfire Torch from Syndra, so look for Syndra to start doing a lot of poke coming into Galio just like this, because you are going to put that burn on Galio, so he's just going to consistently be losing health. Unfortunately for Kaden, no item. He had to immediately buy attack speed boots because he was losing so much farm. And Derek may get caught here again. And Pantheon jumping onto Derek, but Derek immune to stun, thankfully. Or that's another free kill. Gage misses his ult on Varus. And Varus is now going to turn around and see if he can 1v3. But Kog'Maw is the artillery man and is able to stand back and do as much damage as he can from so far away. If Gage hits that ult, though, that is a big pick-off for SNU and a big shutdown gold, but Varus able to sidestep the ultimate and get out of there. And here comes Zyra. Zyra's going to look to see if she can get at least 1, but she is not able to hit her slowdown. And Derek TP's top and is going to try to punish Pantheon for taking this tower, but I don't think he kills Pantheon here. He's really going to try and go on the chase, but Pantheon able to back off after getting the tower. And there goes the top tower for SNU. So some more gold going over to MSU's favor, going straight into Pantheon's pocket as he starts to look for his second item. Big flash there by Kaden. Kaden dodging Nami's ult. He gets hit by that. He dies. So good sidestep there as well. And here's Zyra back bottom lane, realizing that Kaden was in the shop, so he didn't see that the Nami bubble was going to hit him. So now here comes Zyra, able to tower dive. Zyra's ult goes down, knocks up Kaden. Zyra lands another stun on Kaden. And no one's there to follow up, though, for MSU, so Kaden's able to walk out of there alive, thankfully, and we'll see if Briss is going to die for this. Zyra misses her stun, unfortunately, and MSU, with a couple missed abilities, is able to not get any kills, but they're going to turn and try to get the tower instead. Zane's going to stay bottom, and if Syndra might be able to turn this fight around, but gets hit by a Zyra stun, and Zyra just does so much damage right now and snipes Brantley out. So MSU, it's not looking good. One may say that. I did tell them, however, said just speed this game up. It's a Sunday, so I can just go take like a Sunday nap or something. I did not mean speed this game up and just lose, but we are speeding the game up. So unfortunately, SNU down 6K gold, and that is going to go all into the top and ADC lanes for MSU, especially when you look at the bottom statistics down there. 2 items in their top lane, and Boots looking over at Derek, just a Heartsteel built. Their jungler, Leandri's Torment, just already has so much damage coming out from Zyra, and a Skarner having Heartsteel as well. Here's what's unfortunate. We built 2 Heartsteels. They're a very AP-heavy team. Heartsteel's AD. We had to build the Heartsteels, however, because Pantheon is 4 kills. So we don't build those. Pantheon just kind of shreds us. But their team, unfortunately, is ability power and not attack damage. So armor isn't going to work that well against their entire team. But SNU now going to try and put Rift Herald down top lane. Didn't get the tower, so just nothing really working right for any SNU member. Brantley is going to try to see if he can 1v1 Varus. And here comes a Galio also. This 1v1 is now turning into a 2v1. Brantley is in the smoker's cave, that's what I call it, and is going to die in the corner, unfortunately. SNU not in any ability or any position to make a change on that, and we'll see. Gage going to look to see if he can get behind Zyra. He doesn't able to get his stun, and Zyra flashes Gage ultimate again, so Gage doesn't hit his ultimate, and here comes Galio to take the pressure off Zyra and let her walk out. And here comes SNU down.
If we somehow win this game,
Yeah?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Would you take them to like Texas Roadhouse or something?
I mean, I wouldn't,
Oh, okay.
but like I would say that
Should the esports
they
director?
deserve Texas Roadhouse,
okay.
along with the commentators as well.
I agree. I don't know who the esports director is,
Yeah,
but if he's watching,
let him know.
I will let him know. If he's watching, I would love a Texas Roadhouse. Drew over here had like shrimp and
I
pasta
know, and
earlier.
didn't bring us any.
Kind of upsetting.
Jerk.
I did rip a thing off his roll though.
Oh yeah, he gave me a massive piece
yeah.
too.
Oh, I didn't take it. I should have taken a massive piece.
No, he gave me like half.
What was that? Drew's over here
I'm
practicing
sorry.
for his Halo game tonight at 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock. Hopefully he doesn't lose that. And Caden, unfortunately, gets caught mid lane. Is
Really need to
now.
stop dying.
That's the
When
thing.
you say?
I said we needed a turtle. We are not turtling.
Not
we are
turtling.
doing the opposite of turtling, which I guess is the hair. I don't know. You know what? Like
Yep.
the turtle in the hair? Yeah. Yeah.
That was good.
We're the hair currently speeding up this game into a loss. And unfortunately for SNU, not much you can do here. Again, your goal is to try to see if you can get Caden fed, but you're now almost 10K goal behind. You're down 3 dragons. If you're playing solo queue, in about 2 seconds, you type in /FF, which means forfeit.
Yeah, I probably would have FF'd at 15.
Well, that never passes in my solo queue games. People say no all the time. You would probably
I
be
would've
one
said
of
yes.
I do say most games are winnable, and this game is winnable. If I was in solo queue, though, I'd be forfeiting. So, unfortunately, SNU needs to. I don't think Brantley even has his stacks up yet, but he's going to try to look and see if he can kill Galio. Josh, can you click the Syndra portrait? Yeah, her. Yeah. She does not have her stacks. So she only has 87 stacks. She needs over 100 to be able to do her full abilities and a lot of damage, but a lot is happening here. We got 2 kills. Brantley getting 2 kills. Galio going to come in. Huge kill there, and here comes the Scary Berry Pantheon, and doesn't matter. He said, watch this, I'm coming in, and he was able to clean up SNU. SNU getting 3 kills out of that, though. One of those being a massive shutdown gold, and unfortunately, shutdown going to Syndra. That's another good person to get a shutdown to. So now you are looking to get the shutdown gold on a 550 gold Pantheon, and you need
a lot
that
of
to
gold.
either go to Syndra or Kaden. But 3 members from SNU getting those kills, Skarner, Syndra, and Kog'Maw. Maybe don't really want that on Skarner, but we'll take it. We'll take it. 99 stacks on Skarner's Heartsteel, 44 stacks on Mundo's Heartsteel. So those are getting pretty scary as well. Bye, Cade. He'll be back for his Halo game at 7. It's a 5v. There's not the 2v2 tournament. It's the 4v4. So, yeah, season game against ONU, the Polar Bears. I know. Ohio Nova.
With the hockey team, you said.
They do have a hockey team. Their jersey's really cool, actually.
You a big fan?
Their hockey jerseys, yeah. Am I a big fan of them? No. But
a hockey fan.
But a hockey fan nonetheless, yes. Here comes Zane. Zane's going to just look to eat both of the MSU members.
Oh.
But this is what you want to see if you're Kog'Maw, just to be able to stand in the middle of a lane and do damage. And Pantheon said, watch this, I'm going to just straight run at you. And a good job by the SNU team to get Pantheon off Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw going to stand in the back and try to do as much damage as he can. But unfortunately, the opposite has happened from Champion Select. MSU, not squishy. Not squishy at all. If you look at their health, Pantheon, lots of health. Galio, lots of health. And those are the 2 people that are going to be in your face the entire fight. And Zane and Caden, not Cade Smith, Zane and Caden looking to get out of that fight. 3 kills for SNU, 17 kills for MSU.
It's not looking good, guys.
No.
Not looking good.
No, it is not. It is, in fact, the opposite of
Looks
looking
very
good.
bad.
But SNU still has a chance here. It's so bad, actually, the fans are leaving. That's crazy. The fans are a relative and a fiance of one of the players. Relative of 2 of the players. Fiance of 1. Are so over this game, they're walking out. It's okay. They'll be back for game 3. I'm going to speak it into existence. See you guys in maybe 5 minutes. MSU getting Otacon, the victorious Otacon, so they will get the GA. So unfortunately for SNU, they got a really nice pick there. Threw a lot of ults at it. Doesn't matter. They had a GA. So they're going to be respawning. Galio's going to be respawning here in 1 second. He's back. And MSU, seeing that the dragon is going to get taken by SNU, says, we don't care. You need to look at your mid lane because I'm running it at your tower. And Varus is doing Varus things and is doing a ton of damage into this tower. And SNU going to lose a base tower for dragon. Just kidding. Isn't able to get it. That's huge. I may have lied, actually. He's turning around and getting it. So, but SNU now can look to get a pick here. If Brace lands a Melio soccer ball, we may see it. Here comes Gage. Gage is going to throw his ultimate out, gets 1. And he has GA. I forgot about that. So Varus going to go back to spawn. Doesn't die. Going to come back to life here in a little bit. Maybe 5 seconds. And MSU doesn't bother them. Again, what I told you in your learning phase.
Yep.
If you get this Otacon with GA, throw your life at these objectives. Throw your life at your inhibitor. It really doesn't matter if you die. It's only 300 gold. SNU going to try to get as many picks as they can here. That was an insane pick off by Gage against a Galio who actually he doesn't even have his GA. So getting them off of the inhibitor was huge for SNU. Just kind of finding any hope here in any of the team fights. But you've seen that there is some hope. They're able to, that was unfortunate from Brantley. He got knocked up by Nami's bubble. Yeah, there was some hope. There still is, like,
now it's gone.
Like if you like zoom in, like control,
Like a lot.
control, like move your mouse up. That's a little tech for you. Keyboard shortcuts. You can't do it in League of Legends, sorry. But it zooms in on your screen. You can go to like 500% and maybe see the hope. But if you get like 100%, it's there. You just gotta like get like bifocals or something.
Yeah.
MSU looking to take Baron here, and it's now up 10k gold, and that
Bad.
is scary.
Bad.
That is bad. Cam, I want you. It looks like MSU is going to try to look to fight this next fight. I want you to cast the next fight.
No.
Oh. Oh, okay. Okay, sure.
I just don't know enough about the characters.
There are 146
And
characters.
when one
so-
of them has a different skin, I'm screwed.
Yeah, that is actually so true.
I can't even. I don't even know
Yeah,
the base skin.
Varus right here, who's this flaming arrow person,
Uh-huh.
looks completely different when he's changed skins. He's not inflamed. We have 3 different fights going on right now. We have Derek fighting in the top side. We have a fight going on in jungle. Here comes Gage fighting the whole team right now. Huge ult there by Gage. Grabbing 2 members. Galio going to ult in, get as much damage and shield as he can. And MSU takes 1, looks to go and take Caden out. Caden able to walk out of there alive, though. Pantheon ult coming in from the back. Pantheon looking to throw his spear. Gets shielded off by Melio, the soccer ball. You know that. Oh, here we go. Brantley gets stunned up. Nami, the kill still coming out from MSU support. And MSU confidently taking game 2. Maybe. They split off. They're not ending this game. And they probably could have 5 minutes ago. Okay, MSU just deciding to leave. So, MSU up 17 kills. But we said in the first game, kills don't matter. But they are up 14 gold. And that...
At some point, the kills matter.
That's about 8 items, if that helps you put that into perspective. That's a lot of items. You look at, let's see, you look at the 7-1 Varus. He's 1 item away from a full build. Our Kog'Maw has 2 items.
It's not even 30 minutes.
So
in.
Kog'Maw unfortunately is 2 full items away from being in the same level as their Varus. Same thing for when you look at top lane. Same thing when you look at really mid lane. So, just is sadly unfortunate. And it kind of just started with the top gank coming in, Pantheon going up 2 kills, but progressively snowballed that Zyra had a lot of pressure in the jungle throughout this entire game, and MSU was able to capitalize on that all across the board. So MSU now looking to group in 1 lane and end this off, but I think they're just going to instead try to get their 4th and final dragon. SNU knows that they have to stop this if they want any shot in this game, so they're going to try and fight. But Gage getting picked here by Pantheon, stunned, knocked up, and this is what I talked about pregame. Here comes 5 stuns going on to Gage. Gage literally could have taken his hands off the keyboard and not played the video game for like 30 seconds, and nothing would have changed. Unfortunately, the entire comp from MSU just locks you down, and you can't do anything. And so now, they have now aced SNU, and finally, 10 minutes late probably, look to end this game.
So sad.
That was really sad.
So sad.
But you know what's not sad? The comeback in game 3 from SNU. We will be back as MSU takes down the Nexus in game 2. For best of 3 series, tied 1-1 going into game 3. We will see you guys in like 10 minutes.
It's not over.
And we're back. SNU coming into game 3 tied 1-1 against Mississippi State. Fun fact, Cam, I was born in Mississippi.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy.
I didn't know that.
I am more of an Ole Miss fan than a Mississippi State. It's a state divided for sure, like Oklahoma. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie. There's not much to talk about in this champion select so far. Everything's stayed the same. Jinx always gonna be the first band. Bowing. Ari coming in, being banned out by SNU. MSU looking to ban Amumu. Here's the thing. Game 3, SNU's on blue side. I don't know how much you know about blue side versus red side. Do you know anything about the difference?
Blue side's better.
Blue side is, in fact, better. And this is going to sound really nerdy and really just like doesn't make sense if you haven't played the game. But blue side's better because of the way that you can pan your screen.
Oh, I'm aware.
Yeah, it's just, for some reason, it's just easier. Also, the way the lane plays in the pathing north instead of south. But SNU going to finish off their bans with a Skarner ban. Instead of playing it this time, they're going to ban it. And then MSU bans MF. SNU taking the Pantheon away from Mississippi State. So we saw Pantheon kind of go crazy last game, starting the game with a double kill, turning a gank around. And so they SNU locks in Pantheon. Now that can be Pantheon top, Pantheon jungle, Pantheon support. It's going to be a big flex. I'm going to assume we're going to see Pantheon support. I think that is going to be more towards Caden's playstyle. And I just heard them talk about it. So not 100% sure. They're over there talking. Yeah. Yep. Only one champion per game. MSU really loved the Varus gameplay from last game, and I will say this about Varus. He has a very crowd control heavy ADC, but is able to snipe. I do love a Morgana Varus lane. I think MSU is going to absolutely tear up bottom lane with that. SNU has a lot of work to do, especially when you look at a lane like that. Morgana having a ton of CC, Varus having a ton of CC. You need to have a AD carry that has ability to escape. Unfortunately, an Ezreal would be a good choice here. I don't think Caden plays Ezreal. Who else would be good? Nyla. Nyla is going to be what we see, actually. So Nyla has a lot of dash, has a lot of mobility, getting in and out. So has the ability to get out of a Morgana ult. But if Nyla gets locked down, that's where it gets scary. So both teams picking there. I'm assuming bottom lanes, Varus Morgana versus a Pantheon Nyla lane. I mean, you're going to expect both teams to just go at each other the entire game. It's going to be a very kill heavy bottom lane. A lot of pressure going to go bottom. And Derek going to relock in the Mundo that he played last game. Hopefully he doesn't get bullied as bad as he got last game. But he won't. You're so right. You're so right. MSU looking to lock in their third pick of the game and of the series. They are tied 1-1. Again, this is SNU's first loss of the season was to MSU, and Galio is going to get picked up for mid lane against MSU. So here we go, going into the final four bans. After the Galio pick, MSU having three very heavy crowd control champions. That is kind of the strat they went for last game, and it worked to perfection. SNU's comp doesn't have a lot of crowd control so far. They have a Pantheon stun and a Mundo slow, but look for the last two champions from SNU hopefully to have a ton of crowd control. MSU did not like playing against the Syndra. They're going to ban it out. And now it is over to SNU's side. So what you're going to be looking for here, you were looking for a top end jungle ban coming out from SNU. I could see maybe a Nocturne ban. I could see depending on who Gage wants to play, they're going to ban Wukong. So the Wukong from the first game coming out from MSU was scary enough for SNU to ban. I do agree that was something that with a lot of crowd control, especially when his clone is out there. But back to MSU. MSU is going to look, depending on where Pantheon kind of flexes to, if I'm assuming right, and it is support Pantheon, SNU has mid lane to pick and jungle to pick as well. And there it is. Vygar going to be banned out by MSU. SNU instantly banning Cho'Gath. So there goes another jungle top laner from MSU. And so now we get to see who we're going to pick. Cam, just in your wildest imagination, pick SNU's mid laner, and then I will also try to pick SNU's mid laner.
Well, not Mel.
No, Mel's really bad right now. Oh boy. Oh boy.
Can I see all my mid laner options?
Unfortunately, that is a Lulu pick from MSU, and Lulu is the best support in the game right now.
That's not good.
So that is not. So that does look like Morgana is going to flex to maybe
Lux.
jungle. You're gonna say Lux. Okay, Lux. A Lux pick coming out from Cam for SNU's mid laner. Let's see who would I? Ooh, interesting pick there. Nocturne coming out from SNU in the jungle. I do like that, especially against a very crowd control heavy MSU team. Nocturne has the ability to spell shield one of those. Seraphine. Very interesting choice from Zane. So we're going to have a Seraphine Nyla bottom lane. It looks like Nocturne jungle, Dr. Mundo top, and a Pantheon mid lane.
What are your thoughts on this
team comp?
team comp?
You want my honest opinion?
I want your unbiased
Opinion.
No one can
SNU is a very AD heavy team, and that coming into a team like MSU's team is going to be kind of scary, especially you have a Scion who's very tanky, you have a Galio who's very tanky. You're going to have to look at ways to figure out how to burst MSU's team comp up. Lulu, a very squishy champion, but it's going to be very interesting to see who Nocturne and Pantheon dive in on. Last game I talked about how MSU wanted to take the team fights to SNU. They picked a comp that is going to be very aggressive. SNU kind of switching that back in their favor, especially with a Nocturne Pantheon pick. So SNU now is going to look to see the fights that they want to go their favor. They're going to go and find those. But MSU, you're going to have a Scion top lane, Varus, Lulu bottom lane, Galio mid lane, and a Morgana jungle. Very interesting. Morgana jungle, kind of not something that you would expect coming out from MSU, but Mississippi State saying, we understand what that looks like. We played Zyra jungle last game, so I know that's unconventional. We're going to also lock in another AP jungler and support jungler. So they flex Morgana into the jungle, so look for early ganks and big ganks, especially when you look at the bottom lane, which is the lane we've always talked about. It is where our best player is playing. in Caden. So,
Stomero.
well, Cam, I would say this, but I'll say this in 3 minutes because we are headed to our favorite time of the stream, our 3-minute delay coming into game 3. I wish I had like a whiteboard so I could like draw like analytics for the game.
That would be nice. Can we do a recap on where the season standings are looking like?
Yes, SNU is 2-1. After dropping last week, SNU drops out of the top 3 and is now in the top 10. I think they're tied for 5th. Mississippi State also is going to be 2-1 as well.
Dang, this
with
ain't even the
only
best
one.
team.
This is not the best team. But SNU having a very good start to the season, dropping one unfortunate week last week, and then having a longer break playing on Sunday. But we're coming into the second half of the season, so SNU really needing to clean up the games like this where they are close. You have to just find the macro details of it. You have to play your game.
It's the little thing.
It is the little thing. You have to play your game to, honestly, perfection if you're going to beat a team like Mississippi State, especially coming off of a game that you did just lose quite a bit. So, both teams fighting for those top spots. They lost last week to Scarlet Fox University. Scarlet Hawks University. You ask me where that is? Yeah, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah.
But crazy name, Scarlet Hawks. That's like calling us like the Crimson Storm University, the Thundercat University.
I mean, Crimson Storm University is pretty tough.
Yeah, but like
I don't really.
that
prefer
doesn't tell you anything.
The Thundercat University. But
Oh, okay.
did you like that one?
No,
okay.
not at all. Thundercats was an incredible show. I think maybe before you were
Before my
born,
time.
unfortunately.
Definitely before my time.
Yeah, it was before my time too. So like, I don't know if it was good or not, but like I've heard that it was good.
Oh, you've heard.
Yeah. Oh, we got a He-Man guy from Josh. I can respect that. He-Man, it kind of got a revive recently, no? Didn't they like just release a new? Yeah, I think they just released like a new show for it.
If I knew what that was,
He-Man?
I'm sure I would respect your pick also.
You don't know, like, yeah, He-Man is. You know who He-Man is, I'm pretty sure, but I won't go into super detail about that. Skeletor, you don't know any of those? Okay, that's unfortunate. That is unfortunate for Cam.
For my time.
He is not
I'm too
cultured,
young.
is what I'm gonna say.
I'm too young.
No, you're not cultured.
I'm too young.
It's okay. We are going to send it to break here and wait our timeout of 2.5 minutes now. I'm assuming 2 minutes. So we'll catch you guys here in a second. Take a listen to this song brought to you by Josh.
Game time.
Game 3, tied
It all comes down to
1-1.
this.
It does, and again, going to be a very interesting game coming out from SNU, especially with their team comp. Looking at this comp compared to their last game team comp, at least this one has a little bit more of a direction. Not taking a shot at them at all, but again, MSU's team comp very CC heavy here. So SNU maybe looking to get an invade here going. Galio is going to be able to see Pantheon just kind of roaming down in the bottom area a little bit. So SNU just going to pull away and not look to get this invade going. So that is now 3 games, and we have not seen an invade, which is very shocking, especially just in this conference. We see a lot of invades pretty early. So Nocturne going to start top side, going to start his blue buff, look to path bottom lane. Morgana going to do what she's done all series, going to hit the ward on the opening entrance into her jungle and look to roam bottom, start her blue buff as well. And Derek going to get a very early ward into the red buff, but it has been spotted out. So Morgana probably will look to evade that, and SNU also sees that Scion wards their blue buff. So a really normal start coming out from both teams here. And we are going to look actually in the bottom lane. Bottom lane maybe trying to bushwhack MSU. This is mid lane. But if you look at the map, yeah, the bottom lane was going to try to look to bushwhack SNU or MSU, but didn't get it done. And so all the lanes are going to normal. SNU going to be able to clear the wave pretty early, and everything is going to reset. So you're going to probably look for a slower start, especially with the Morgana Nocturne jungle competition. But this is where your focus needs to be, is in this lane, really like always, but going to be a more aggressive lane than normal. Pantheon going to jump in, stun Galio, and is going to able to walk out, but get enough damage on Galio to where that lane now is scary if Galio wants to try to melee farm. And Scion going to throw out his knockup on Mundo. Mundo can't get CC'd though. And so top lane is shockingly still very aggressive. Derek didn't have a fun game last game and couldn't do actually anything because he had to sit under tower. And so hopefully Derek is going to look to try to put some more pressure on the Scion coming out from MSU. But bot lane, just both teams throwing out as much harassment as they can. Lulu going to try to poke down Nyla. Lulu going to get the stun down on Nyla. And Caden going to have to throw his barrier out early. That is not good for SNU. Caden's barrier needs to be saved for more of a time where he can jump in. And he does not have the pressure or the health now to sit there. But if we look down the bottom, Nocturne going to come in from the back. Nocturne stunning and going to get the fear down. Nice. Able to get the first blood is Lulu, unfortunately. First blood going over to MSU as Lulu turned to try to kill Gage. And Lulu gets out after she does that. But SNU able to trade 1-for-1 there and get the kill again. Unfortunate that the first blood gold does go over to MSU as well as the objective kill for first blood. But both teams now have one. And so we're going to look to reset the lanes. I want to say SNU's kill went onto Nocturne. Correct me if I'm wrong, Josh. It did. So a little bit better there for SNU to have their kill go on someone that is going to actually start doing a lot of damage.
Oh, yeah, their kill went to their support. That's not...
It's not great, but she gets a lot more gold because it was first blood. Pantheon and Galio just going to be doing this for the next 5 minutes of the game. So if you enjoy watching 30 seconds of each other just punching each other, tune into mid lane.
Oh, that was close, Derek.
Yeah, Derek.
That was close.
Derek is going to take a lot of harassment top lane. They talked about it before the game started and told him it is just going to be a harder matchup for you. But I did not expect him to pick Scion, so that is an even harder matchup if you are Derek. Morgana is in a very, very juicy position bottom lane to try to see if she can throw out a stun and land. MSU going to try to bait early with Lulu. Lulu's playing very aggressive here. SNU does not know that that champion is sitting in the bush ready to stun, but MSU playing this pretty horribly and pushing the lane, but SNU doesn't realize that. MSU throws out the stun, accidentally stuns freaking Caden on complete accident. Gage is in the back line, throws out the fear. Gage gets the fear down, and then SNU is going to have to turn and run from this fight because here comes Varus, and Varus is going to look to snipe out Gage. Does hit the Q, but isn't able to do the damage because of the shield coming out from Seraphine. And here comes the classic 30 seconds of fighting from mid lane, and both people are going to walk away. But that was a good counter gank there by Gage. Did not know Morgana was sitting in that bush, and so had to just kind of guess of where she was going to be, and guessed correctly. And so now SNU is going to look to see if they can reset this bottom lane. Again, this is where all your action is going to be. The junglers know that, so the junglers are kind of playing a little bit more towards bottom lane. Derek being a little bit too aggressive here, and Sion getting caught under the tower with a stun and having to flash out, and Derek able to get his ult down. And Mundo, if you know anything about Mundo, you can't kill him.
Ever.
Literally ever, actually. Yeah, you're so right. So he throws his ult down at 10 HP, and now he is at full or half HP. And so he is going to look to push this lane out and have to back. Derek backing. Gage is going to look to see if he can grab some Void Grubs. A different play here from Gage is going to try to throw off MSU. Gage may be able to get all 3 Void Grubs before MSU collapses on him here. He does, and is able to look to see if he can get out. Lulu playing on the top side of the map. So Varus is going to be by himself for the bottom for the next probably minute and a half. And so Gage, good stun counter by Gage. Brantley going to have to jump in there and see if he landed a pick, but wasn't able to get a pick there. And so SNU kind of in a very vulnerable position. Ooh. Good flash there by Gage. He got caught out in the jungle with the Sion rotating from the top side down, and Gage escapes. And Lulu going to try to stop some backs here and just be a menace as much as she can while she is not in her lane, because she knows down there bot lane is going to be, Varus is going to take just so much damage. Zane is trying to do as much poke as he can while Lulu isn't there, but MSU looking to rotate towards the dragon, and we'll see who is going to see if they can get the first dragon of the game. The good thing here is Gage is almost 6, and so I don't know if you know what Nocturne does when he gets 6.
I'm not aware.
That is when your screen goes black, and the only people that can see is actually Nocturne.
Everybody?
Everyone's screen goes black, yep. And so he is able to fly onto a certain person in a certain range, but he's able to fly on a certain person, and nobody knows obviously who he's on except the person that is in that vicinity. And so he's able to change the fight pretty big when it comes down to that. So he's not worried about MSU being on dragon here. He can quickly get to dragon if he wants to. And Caden's going to go in. Morgana's going to look to see if she can get an ult. Here comes a Nocturne ult. 2 stun CCs and a Pantheon ult in the back. That was a massive play by SNU, getting 2 quick catches, both by a Nocturne ult and a huge Pantheon ult by Brantley to get to the back line of MSU. And now SNU looks towards dragon to get the first dragon of the game.
We just got feats.
We just did get feats.
Let's get dragon.
Good for you. You're learning.
2 objectives.
Yeah, this is really an opposite game from SNU from the last one. Going up very early. We're going up early very quickly. And so SNU going to have to look to see if they can push this objective pretty well. Every time, here's what I want to see from Gage. He's going to go back. Hopefully he doesn't buy a Ravenous Hydra. Let's see what he does buy, though. Okay, he buys a Mallet. So he's going to go back and look towards completing his first item, but I want to see every time his ult is on cooldown, he's hitting that on this bottom lane from MSU, especially before they get big early. I think now SNU's bottom lane can look to just absolutely burst down. Brantley, 2-0. He's pretty fed. We saw what a 2-0 Pantheon can do last game, and we're probably going to see exactly that this game as well. So MSU, Morgana in the top side. SNU knows that. Brantley going to get clipped by Morgana stun, but should be able to get out of here. Galio too low to be able to jump in and stun Brantley back in. And so Brantley walks out. But here comes 4 members of MSU looking to see if they can tower dive Brantley. And really kind of just a waste of time and resources from MSU. This is a massive play and massive macro from SNU, especially if SNU looks to get a plate here. That's more gold in Caden's pocket, solo gold in Caden's pocket, and a lot of minions dying. And Zane gonna get a double stun off And so that's even more minions dying. Here comes a Nocturne ult. That's a huge ultimate there.
Let's go, Gage.
That was a big ultimate there by Gage. As SNU looks to press the advantage again, and that's what I'm saying. As soon as Gage's ult is on cooldown, he needs to just be pressing it because it is currently free
How
kills.
far can he jump with that?
It's about, oh my gosh, Kaden getting clipped by a Varus ultimate and just getting exploded. It's about, I'd say like a quarter of the map right now. When it's full level, it's about half the map. Zane able to get out of there with like 30 HP. Yeah, that wasn't kind of insane. And so now SNU just kind of looking to play for the next objective. Void Grubs is up, and Kaden, or not, sorry, the other brother, Gage, is already on them and looking to take all 6 Void Grubs is SNU, and that would be massive. Really, maybe the first time this season I've seen them get all 6 Void Grubs. And Briss, jumps in, gets the double stun. Lulu gonna ult. She's gonna knock both of them up.
Nice.
Kaden gonna jump in, get stunned by Morgana, but able to get the first kill on Lulu. And Varus not having enough mana to save his support is going to get burned. And Gage is just gonna be toying around with Galio. I don't think both of them can kill. Oh, but just kidding. Brantley's gonna ult in from behind Galio, and we're gonna see a fight. Yeah, I was to say, as soon as the camera pans, Galio gonna just try to jump out of there. And does. Galio ults the top lane and is able to get out of the fight, because if not, he would have died there from Gage and Brantley. So
lucky.
Both teams going to reset here. If we look bottom, oh no. Oh no. Big stun there coming out from Morgana, and Zane throws out Seraphine's ult, misses, but they are both going to retreat. A good slow there from Seraphine. Kaden is still just kind of trying to do as much damage as he can, but yeah, needs to retreat as Varus is coming in. And here comes Gage. Gage is going to throw down his ult. He's going to immediately snipe the Morgana, and here comes the entire SNU team. Varus is going to try to see if he can get out of there. Throws a stun on Nocturne, but dodges Pantheon's Q.
That literally went through.
Well,
yeah,
we're going to say that was a like spectator bug or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But massive play there by SNU, all 4 members being able to rotate down
behind the tower like that? So
really, Scion can just kind of do what he wants. We call that just the Scion ability. He doesn't care really if he dies. He's not really killable right now too, especially with his ult. He can just press R and get out. So he's going to proxy farm behind the tower. Proxy farming is meaning you're farming behind enemy objectives because you're not killable. So if he ever got caught, he would just press R and he would get out. You'll see that a lot too with like a Garen or something. But he is ahead in lane, and so he has the ability to just do something like that. But SNU doing what I asked, and every time that Nocturne ult is on cooldown, it is being used immediately on a bottom lane member, and MSU not able to get back into this game if that keeps happening. What's really good for SNU is not only is Nocturne ulting bottom lane in those fights, Pantheon is following up in a very good position right behind them and making sure that SNU walks out of there with at least 2 kills every fight. So MSU having 4 members in the bottom lane, they're looking towards their first dragon, and we will see what SNU can do about that. Gage's ult will be up here shortly, maybe 25 seconds for Gage's ult to see if he can get some pressure on the dragon, but MSU maybe has just lost their entire pressure on the dragon as Galio just got bursted down by Pantheon, and so now SNU has the numbers advantage here to look to see if they can get their second dragon, and that is exactly what they're going to do. Brantley's going to try to jump in and do as much damage as he can on Varus, but takes a little bit more damage as he wanted to under that tower. This is what I talk about when I talk about top lane being just like an iceberg. It's just like a slow death. And neither of them really going to be able to do anything. Here comes a Galio ult, though. Brantley going to get knocked up, but Gage going to immediately go back in the back line. Here comes Varus' ult, stuns 3 members of SNU. This is a massive Morgana and Varus ult, but it doesn't matter. Kaden is able to just jump around and just do as much damage as he can. And this is why Kaden loves this champion. The mobility is insane. Briss is in the back, stunning 2 members of MSU, but Brantley not able to get out. And that was a big fight there by MSU. That was a very good combo ult there from Morgana and Varus, stun locking 3 members of SNU and not able to let them move. And so if you're SNU, that is what you're worried about the rest of this game. You just kind of saw the pressure that their team is going to give you with both of those ults in a combination. So you have to look more towards getting picks than just trying to immediately 5v5 team fight, especially in a location like that where it is so clumped up that a Morgana ult is going to hit more than one member. You don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
And so as we look towards later in this game, you're going to have to try to push your lead, but by pushing your lead, you're more looking for a pick rather than a big team fight, because right now I don't know if you win those just based off of team comps. You need to get ahead pretty early, especially with your items. So SNU going to reset bottom lane. You're going to see a lane switch coming from SNU. Their bottom lane is going to go towards mid lane, and their mid laner is playing now in the bottom lane. You see that when turrets get low, Gage may get picked here. This would be kind of a crazy death if he dies. But Derek playing a good teammate role and coming in and supporting him. But this is why you have the lane switch. Brantley is able to do so much damage to Varus. And so that is why SNU look to switch their lanes. Briss needs to dodge the stun coming in for Morgana. He does not. He gets hit by it, but shouldn't die. Maybe he will. He should not die yet. Oh, big flash there by Morgana. Morgana throws her ult down. Gage is up getting Rift Herald, but he has his ultimate in as well. So we may see a turn here if Brantley can get to a position to where he can ult. Caden kind of getting caught here. Caden going in to try to get the minions before they all die to the tower. He gets locked down and he dies. So this is a little bit of a throw here from SNU, as 3 members have kind of just tossed their body into death's way, and Gage is going to throw his ult down on a Galio. Kind of more of a tanky member, but they should be able to get this kill. It's just going to take longer than usual. Brantley snipes Galio with his Q, and now Brantley is 6-1 on Pantheon, and that is scary. If we look down at the bottom of your screen, you're going to see the score 0-0 top lane. Obviously, they haven't been able to do much to each other.
That's so boring.
It is really boring. I will say this, though. MSU's top lane going to come out of laning phase on top. Brantley may be able to just absolutely one-shot the Lulu, and he's going to get the Lulu ult, but Caden going to be able to finish the job. He's going to dash back in on Varus. Varus going to be turning around and look to stun Caden, but is going to walk away. So back to the items. Jungle versus jungle, 3-1 versus 4-2. Both junglers having one item, starting to build their second. You're going to see an arm brace coming in from Morgana. So you're going to look to see her ult and then go invincible for 15 seconds and hope that her ult hits, but a great second buy item for Morgana.
It's actually insane how you know that. You just know what they're building.
When you play this game for this long, you just know everything, unfortunately. And Morgana going to get caught. She might use it here. Zhonya's might come out, but she is not able to press the button as she's stun locked. SNU turning around this fight. Huge ultimate there by Seraphine to keep Galio in the fight. Another stun going on Galio. SNU turning their eyes towards Galio, and he's going to die. That was a big ult to make sure that Galio did not get out of that fight. And SNU putting so much pressure on MSU's bottom lane here. They may get their base turret. SNU now looking to see if they can just end this game quickly. You're going to look to see if they can kill a very, very tanky Scion, but they are not healthy enough. And Brantley is going to do Brantley things. He's going to jump in on a Lulu again, make Lulu use her ult on herself. This leaves Varus open, and Caden's going to have to flash out. He's not going to be able to get out. Brantley turns this fight around, though. He's so fed.
Gosh, they are so low.
And Brantley may be able to try to snipe Varus here. I don't know if he's gonna look for it, but he's not gonna be able to get it. And here comes Cage. Cage gets Lulu, but immediately gets blown up. Don't know if that was the best idea. I don't know how much gold Lulu is worth right now. She may be worth less than a minion. She is. She is worth less than a minion.
Wow.
So
that's unfortunate.
that was, if he was able to get 2 there, that would have been massive. But a good play here by Derek, TPing top lane. Oops.
Oh,
well,
Derek,
I spoke way too soon. Derek accidentally walked into tower range before the minions appeared in the tower range, and he took too much damage. MSU going to take the advantage that they got from that fight and prevent SNU from getting their 3rd dragon. SNU going to rotate just a little bit too late, and SNU loses the dragon. But That was a good back and forth fight. That was a good start to the fight from SNU. May have overstayed their welcome, however, and was unable to get the inhibitor and then started losing members too fast. And MSU was able to turn the advantage and look towards getting their first dragon of the game. So let's take a look here. We got 15 kills to SNU, 9 to MSU. However, what did you learn?
4,000 gold that we are up.
4,000
Is the
gold
difference maker.
is a difference maker. Doesn't matter how many kills we're up. It's all about the gold. It's all about the gold. And Cam can't do math. We are only up 4K gold.
What did I say?
I don't know, like 12? Oh. Yeah, it was 3.4. And SNU looking to get Otacon here. This is the Rose Otacon, though, so they will not get the GA. So SNU really needs to burn this fast. However, unfortunately, they're going to have to stay in this fight. Gage is going to ult. Big ult there by Seraphine, taunting 3 members of MSU. Here comes all of the members of MSU, though, to turn into the back line. You're going to look at Gage. Derek is actually just running Lulu down. And Lulu, it is Lulu and Varus versus Derek. And now MSU is going to look at him as he is away from the team. But Mundo going to get sniped. And there's the Vanguards from Morgana, keeping
Unlucky.
her alive.
But did we get the Rose Otacon?
Wait, can you press Z, Josh? We did. We got the Otacon. Unfortunately, I don't think we got all the roses, though. But we will take the Otacon buff into the second half of this game, which will give us a huge benefit.
What is the benefit?
It is, I think it's 15% bonus to any major objective in the game. So that means if we're getting dragons, we're getting bonuses from the dragon buffs. If we're getting barons, we're getting bonuses from the baron buffs. But what SNU needs to now look towards, team fights are not really going your way. You are just getting CC'd pretty heavily. That was a good ult in that last fight by Zane. He ulted 3 members of MSU, but unfortunately, Derek kind of got split off into the back line, was trying to take was trying to take Varus and Lulu out of the fight, but MSU just kind of 5-manned him at the back. And so now, how does SNU win a team fight? You're probably thinking, Cam, I know I can read your mind.
Yeah.
You got to look towards these single picks. So like right now, if you're Gage, you got to look towards trying to ult mid lane maybe and just sniping a Varus out by himself. That's exactly what they're doing though with the Morgana, but the Scion is too scary right now to try and fight. You got to make sure too Brantley is in a position to be able to get these kills. He's pretty fed right now. That was a good stun there by Zane to prevent that ward from dying. And MSU now having top vision of their jungle is going to have to turn their eyes towards mid lane to try to see if they can save their turret, but I don't know if they'll be able to. Visions Pro says, let's go B-Tomp. That's Brantley Thompson if you don't know. I don't know who Visions Pro is. Maybe, could be Brantley's brother. Did you know Brantley had a brother? I went to college with Brantley's brother,
not.
fun fact. There is, and the other Thompson also very good at League of Legends. Actually is a RuneScape pro. Fun fact. He's a really good RuneScape player. But SNU up 15-11, 4K gold lead, and is going to see. Wait, when's Drag? Can I see when Dragon spawns? Yeah, in a minute, SNU is going to look to see if they can get their Ocean Drake for their 3rd dragon of the game. As MSU is now just walking around clearing wards, trying to get the vision back in their jungle. But SNU, having only lost top and bottom tier 1 towers, has pretty much good control of theirs and MSU's jungle. So need to look for either a big pick here from just one person, or a good team fight in a well-positioned position. I don't think that's a good sentence. A well-positioned fight, preferably not in the jungle. They can't hear me, but like if they could, I would tell them do not fight in the jungle. That would be worst case scenario for SNU right now, just because of all the CC that can come from MSU. But here we go, SNU now looking to do the dragon dance. They're going to start clearing all the vision in the bottom lane. They're going to take the position of the dragon pit as dragon spawns in 1 second. Here we go. SNU Going to see how much damage they can do on this third dragon. MSU not really in a position to contest. MSU is going to actually come in from the top side river, but here comes Brantley. Brantley's going to look to see if he can get a quick stun on an MSU member. Scion actually 1v4ing in the back line. This is massive from Scion, has taken all the vision away from SNU, and Brantley 1v3ing on the other side of the map. So Scion dies. Brantley going to flash out. Huge ult there by Gage. Gage going to get Lulu ulted up in the air. Massive fight though coming in from Seraphine. And here comes Caden to see if he can finish off the Morgana, but I don't know if he'll be able to catch up. That was a good turnaround. Brantley ult in the back. That was a massive ult though, preventing them from walking up the mid lane. So Brantley's going to chase them down. SNU just running them down in the jungle, and SNU should be able to catch up here with the Seraphine, but I don't know if they're going to want to. That was a good...
Get him, Derek.
Derek gonna stun Morgana. Get him, Derek.
Get him,
Derek. And here we go. Brantley catches the Lulu. Brantley's gonna look to see if he can get another kill on Morgana, but Morgana doesn't want to give it to Brantley.
Ace from Derek.
That was a big team fight there from SNU, and a good smart move there by Morgana to not give Pantheon another kill. And so just turning around and just giving it to Mundo. But massive team fight there from SNU to clean that up, get the dragon. Brantley crazy 1v4ing on the top side of the map. Scion on MSU's team was 1v4ing our team on the bottom side, and I'm going to take a Fed Pantheon to 1v4 over just a champion that just has a lot of health, you know?
Completely.
Good response. And as we take a look at all the kills going SNU's way, 8-2 Pantheon, a 6-5 Nyla. Those are going to be where your damage is. But what's really important to look at is your 5-3 Nocturne. He has the item. I don't know if you can see it, Cam, but the second item that looks like a little like mask kind of thing, that will reduce his ult timer. I think it's by like 30% if he gets a kill with it. So expect Gage to have his ult up quite a bit more in the last half of this game. We are now in the final phase of this game and of this series. Series is tied 1-1. This is game 3, and it's looking good for SNU.
And we have the Baron.
We do, in fact, have the Baron. You're right.
I didn't even see it.
We did. We got it when we were reviewing the last fight. But SNU going to kind of split up a little bit. Derek's going to look to try to take the top tower, as Nyla's going to look to, I think, Nyla's looking to get the mid tower, and Brantley's looking to get the inhib. This is a good macro play by SNU. All members just trying to get objectives. A really early Galio ult coming in. MSU going to try to see if they can catch off Brantley, but they're not going to be able to. Massive ult, though, coming in from Nocturne and Nyla. Nyla's going to go in, get 2 kills. Brantley going to clean up the right side of the map here, and SNU is going to finish this game and finish this series in a dominating fashion after coming off of that game, too. Brantley was so confident in the win. Our game's still not over. He's walking out the door. It's crazy. Hey, Brantley, you have a great Sunday. I'm assuming you won. Actually, SNU just takes down the Nexus.
Beautiful.
SNU takes the series, gets the revenge game on Mississippi State, and proves to them that they are
better.
Mo Betta. Have you ever been to Mo Betta's?
Nope, never been there.
Pretty good. Oh, hey, everyone. We just immediately cut to us. All right, well, tune in here in like an hour and a half for Halo. I won't be here.
I won't be here.
I don't know who will be here. But we're going to end stream and put it back up later. SNU takes the victory 2-1 in a confident game 3. Thanks for casting with me. Appreciate you. We'll see you guys. I think next Sunday is SNU League of Legends again on a Sunday. They really don't want me to take my Sunday nap. I get it. I get it, but whatever. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you later. SNU Esports out.